Hey guys, welcome. It's time for some D&D, The Beholders. Hopefully some characters you've grown to love. Unfortunately, Cheryl could not be here this time. Their moral center, the rogue. We have two things, Ari, where the rogue is the moral center of the group. I don't know about us. Um,
Doesn't
but
say
she
anything
was
very good
going to
about
be
us.
here, but she's going to a concert and they moved the date, and you don't really have a choice around those things. So we miss you, Cheryl, and you're here in spirit. Um, Maybe Karen has a locket with her with everyone's picture in
Yes.
it. um, but before we really get into it, we're gonna do a bit of a introduction of just who we are and if we have anything we want to, uh, advertise. We'll get that taken care of. I'm Dan. I'm the DM of half of the OD&D podcast, creator of this, that, and the other thing. And just check out the OD&Dpodcast.com. And we should have a new Fistful of Dice up soon. And then we'll throw it over to our special guest, Riley.
Woo-woo.
Hey everybody, I'm Riley Silverman. I'm excited to be back for I think my fourth or fifth. Yeah, I've done them all.
You've been here every year, yep.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm excited to be back. Love doing this. Love taking care of them sweet cats. So I'm happy to be part of this. And yeah, I think the biggest thing you can look for me, besides finding me on I'm on the Bluesky and the Instagram at Rally Silverman. But also I have a Doctor Who audiobook that came out this year that you can purchase through Big Finish Audio Productions. It's part of a box set that is the Short Trips Volume 13, I believe, Tales from the Vortex. And so it is my short story, Dark Watchers of California, along with several other amazing short stories and set in the Doctor Who universe with various doctors. Mine is Peter Capaldi's 12th Doctor, along with his companion Bill, because they're both amazing and I love them so much. And
Nice.
yeah, so that came out in April, so you can check that out. And that's probably good for me.
And you got a link to it off of your website, RileySilverman.com, right?
I do have a link to it off RileySilverman.com, yes.
So if you don't remember
It's
that,
also,
just remember her name.
Yeah, if you go on Bluesky, my pinned post right now is a link to it as well.
There
so
you go.
Fabulous.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. And our additional newbie, Josh.
Yeah. First time beholder. Excited to be here. Fifth time Meowrathon runner player. And I am also part of the OD&D family. Specifically the Fistful of Dice podcast. And yeah, listen to that.
Yeah, we'll see if your affectation changes on this one too.
It will. It will. I was able to write in that podcast why I can't keep an accent, but it's not going to work over a 3 hour period. It's quite
Unless you defect from us, and then we'll have a problem.
Right. All right, and then we're gonna just go right above my head with Nick.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nick. He, him. Most of you know me on socials at Scry Society. No longer on the Hell site Twitter, but I am on Blue Sky, Instagram, and have a very small presence on TikTok. But I am I think fifth time Meowrathon player. 2020 was actually my first time ever playing D&D on a stream, which was pretty exciting. So I'm very grateful to Dan and Co for bringing me back each year. Colonel Relish is one of my favorite characters to play.
That's why I have to bring you back, because it's one of my favorite characters to hear. So
yeah, and I am also the community manager for Shard Tabletop, which you guys will hopefully be seeing in action tonight, or hearing our dice roll in the background in action. The virtual tabletop for 5th edition D&D, and now Kobold Press's Tales of the Valiant. So yeah, happy to be here.
Awesome. And then last and certainly not least.
Yep. Hi there. Hi there. I'm Kimberly. I also go by Squeaky. Either one is fine. I have been with the OD&D Productions since the beginning. I play in both of Dice and Dens as the fighter, and in fistful of dice as a legitimate businesswoman. She's a snake oil salesman. It's fine. It's fine. It works probably. Yeah. So and I've been helping out with Meowrathon as much as I can, as much as I have spoons for, since forever. So yay.
Fair. Okay. Well, before we get into it, I just want to mention that all donations can influence the game, and what those are on the right there. And for $1, you can add to a reroll pool. So whenever they go, oh, that's not great, they can just reroll a die. For $3, you can add to an advantage pool, which allows them to roll advantage out the gate. For $5, you can add disadvantage to the next roll. In case, they're doing too good and you're like, I don't know about that. And for $10, you can help them find a clue. I'll either, if they've missed one, I'll see if I can't introduce that. Otherwise, maybe I'll make something up. Who knows? So, yep, donate to influence the game. And remember, every donation, goes straight to Simply Cats, helps foster kittens. You see them running around in our video stream. The ones you see on the stream are actually going to be up for adoption likely next week. We bring them back on Monday. So I'd really love to see us get over 800 at some point. That'd be awesome. And I guess I'm going to start reading you guys some stuff.
Yes.
So we open. You guys have just finished solving another case. Turned out a gnome was hiding everyone's forks, and they were losing their mind, and they thought it was a poltergeist, but you took off his mask, and it turned out it was old gnome Henry. And
old gnome.
Old gnome Henry. Gnome. And so they say, thank you for the help. Have for everything, and the beholders are always reliable, and we love the work that you do for us.
All in a day's work.
And then as you what, YouTube's not working? Are you sure, Ari? Can't find it. Did you go to the Meowrathon site? Because there's a link to it there. Let me know if it doesn't work when you go there. Okay. Meanwhile, as you guys are getting ready to go to the carriage that you guys ride in to do your work and go home, the carriage driver turns to you and says, you have a letter from headquarters. And he hands it to you. Which one of you take the letter?
The colonel will extend his trunk to very gingerly take the.
Fair enough.
For folks who are watching, Colonel Relish is a rather rotund loxodon elephant humanoid.
Yes. You can see him. I'll zoom in here a little bit.
And I will of course hand it to Corinne, who has a letter opener somewhere in her apron.
Of course,
which is sharpened to it, like you hear it as like it's unsheathed, I think.
I reach deep into my pockets, and I flourish it open and pull it out and hand it back.
That there was Corinne's great grandmother's a letter opener passed down through the family.
It's very precious to me.
Was actually used to kill Corinne's great great grandfather, which is a totally different story.
Oh, don't get me started on that bastard.
All right, and so when you open the letter, when you read it, you see that the beholders actually would like you guys to go to a dinner for the Archwizard Ulick. Can you roll a history, Iron Tusk?
Yes. This is not plus anything. A 7.
Nice.
Okay, well, you don't really know who this Ulick guy is. Do the rest of you want to maybe try running a history? You just seem most likely.
Oh, I gotta go over to.
Oh, Corinne might also.
Okay. Oh,
I'll give her a lower difficulty.
History. Oh, I have a +3. Nice. I'm gonna get my dice out.
Um,
I
am I with the group at this
Yeah,
point?
you're all here. You just finished your
Oh,
mystery.
okay. Yeah, that's all right.
Okay.
We're getting
Ooh.
into it, and then we're gonna give you time to talk to each other.
That's a 22. No, sorry, 21.
Oh
21.
damn. So the name Archmage Oleg actually rings a bell to you. They in the wizarding circles call him Oleg the Feeble.
Okay.
Because from what they understand, he's gotten a bit older. He's not quite as powerful as he once was. And since then, he's been confined to his tower, and he rarely, if ever, actually leaves it or engages with the outside world. So this is actually a pretty big honor to be invited to a dinner at his tower.
Invited to someone's house. Oh, I've heard of him. He's really
Well.
rather fancy.
Butter my basilisk and call me breakfast. We got a party to go to, Corinne. Get my nice suit.
Yes, sir.
And I'm sure it's in the back of the carriage, obviously.
Of course.
I'll make sure it's nice and pressed, and we'll all be very spiffing.
And I think we should probably get everybody on the same table. Corinne, you told me about these new folks that are going to be joining us.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're
You said we're all here, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, I've been here the whole time.
Okay.
I'm just a little lower. You might want to look down. Hi. Hello. You're very tall.
Oh, sorry about that. I get a little bit frightened when folks are running all nimbly bimbly about my
It's
trunk.
okay.
Well, I'm sorry. I can't help that I haven't grown yet. It just kind of hasn't happened yet. Sorry.
No, are you a young you a child, or I don't have my seeing glasses on.
I'll
Oh,
pull
yeah,
those out of my other pocket.
I mean, if you want to be productive, yes, I'm a child, but I mean, I am an accomplished investigator of myself, so I am quite excited to be working with astute investigators such as yourselves.
Oh, I've heard about you. You're the young fella that young child that folks have been calling.
I'm not
bit
a
of
fella. Your eyes could probably be adjusted a bit more. I'm a girl. Hi.
Ah,
sorry.
yes, young lass, a prodigy. I have been hearing around
yes, I'm
the
quite smart.
beholders.
Yes.
Well, it is an honor to have you on the case with us.
Well, it is an honor to be working with such esteemed investigators as yourself. Hopefully we don't have to combine our powers tonight, but we'll see.
We shall.
Oh, gee.
And it is I, Stranger Akamanakin. But you already know that since we just solved that goblin case together, and I know my third language, being goblin, completely solved the case myself, I'm sure.
Of course you did.
What race are you? No.
Human.
She's
He says
he was a human.
Well, I'm a
he's
dwarf,
as
so I'm just
boring
like
as bread and butter.
pat you on the shoulder. Of course you did, love. Of course you did.
I'm an ASMR, but I look very human.
Okay.
Yeah, I would read as human unless somebody knew otherwise.
But
I
as
rolled.
you're probably close to my height then, right?
Me?
Since I'm a dwarf.
Yeah, probably. I'm an
Probably.
11-year-old human child. So
So okay.
or I seem like 11-year-old human child.
Perfect.
I rolled a dirty 1 on my history check. It was a 2 minus 1.
So you've
And,
actually forgotten a little bit about this Oleg guy.
I've already forgotten the letter.
I had a 13 on my history check.
Nice.
Nice. Let's see. But the letter says that the dinner is to celebrate the success of his protege, for his expedition under the king's banner, and so there's going to be a formal banquet, and it's served in his
Ooh.
honor. So,
And it's Olik.
Ulic, Ullic,
U-L-I-C. Okay.
of Atwin Tower.
I've always wanted to go there.
So you guys kind of get in the carriage as you oft do, and you start. You ride off.
How big is the interior of the carriage?
Big enough to hold the Loxodont and all the rest of you.
I mean, that's fair. So I will absolutely pull out of the trunks in the back the Colonel's best suit and an ironing board, and I will be working on making it as prim and proper as benefits his station.
Yeah, I'd like to think that this carriage has been specially crafted by the beholder or by our organization. It has like ballast like boats have. So like as Colonel Relish gets in, there's like weights on the bottom that slide
shift
over to the other to keep it kind of all
Yeah, you
aligned.
have a very dedicated carriage. It's not like
Yes.
shared with everyone else. It's definitely like your carriage at least.
And it's painted like the 18 van on the outside. No?
As we're riding, I pull my familiar back out of the little pocket dimension, and I have this cat that I'm oblivious to the fact is shedding all over the lovely coat that you were pressing and getting nice and neat for the. So I'm petting him to calm my anxiety, and as I'm doing so, I'm definitely ruining all. I'm like undoing a little bit of your work by getting. I don't know how long familiar shed lasts. It might fade after a while, but for the fun of it, yeah.
I'm sure I've got a lint roller in there somewhere.
What kind of cat is it?
No, I think it's probably like a fun I think I use the cherubic cat stats, which I think are regular cat stats, but it's like I think it's like a nice white, like probably looks like a Himalayan, possibly, but like solid white. Because it's a little bit it's celestial in origin, like the spirit is celestial, so it's very like bright and like almost like unnaturally white, it feels like, and then blue eyes.
It's just getting everywhere. It's getting on my clothes as well.
Yeah.
It's filling the carriage.
Yeah.
Just getting everywhere.
I'm just
I'm
get
just
the lint roller and lint roller it up, and then ironing and rolling, and then buffing the metals.
Buff it and
As I'm fighting the futility of keeping hair off my finery, where is it we're going again, dear co-workers?
it's just south of Boulder's Gate.
Mr. Ulrich's Tower.
Which I forget what you said the name of the tower was. I'm sorry.
Atwin Tower.
Atwin Tower.
I like how Corinne says it.
I don't know where that came from, but I'm going with it.
All right, so you kind of ride along for a bit. I'm going to skip some of what they have in here because it's kind of silly how they did it. When you get there, it's raining, so the ground's a little muddy and such. So we're at that. And so when you get there, you come across a rocky crag topped with a slender stone tower made out of a white-gray stone. It's several stories tall, topped with a silver conical roof. Surrounding the base of the building is a small garden of colorful flowers and leafy bushes. There are no windows on the tower, just a simple set of wooden double doors where the path meets the tower. When you approach, the door opens and a gentleman comes out and says to you, "Hello, I am Bendel. I am the butler. You appear to be the beholders. Is that correct?"
Lorelei Lore, ace detective at your service, sir.
He nods to you.
Oh, hello. And then I give the secret sign of the housekeeper union.
He's not union, so he has no idea why you're voguing.
Yes, you would be correct, sir. We are in fact the beholders.
Excellent.
And 'tis I, Strengir Akamanachen, and I am the grand ambassador of the beholders, and I will roll deception.
Let's do it.
For a dirty 20.
Well, it's great to have an ambassador of the beholders. We were hoping we'd have some great folks from there. We have obviously recognize Iron Tusk, but To have such a high level of gentlemen from the Beholders, we truly feel honored.
Yeah, I think with a 20, even I lean over to Corinne. I didn't know he was promoted to ambassador. That's quite impressive.
I didn't hear that either. Was it in was that in our last letter?
We must have missed the memo. Well, we'll have to brush up.
I should be pressing his suit too.
Uh,
Oh, jeez.
Oh
Well,
no, he's
yes,
gonna
you-
look
you-
frumpy.
you,
Oh no, he's gonna be frumpy. It's gonna look.
calm down, Corinne. Calm down. Here, have a little bit of your, and I take a flask and just pass it. Yes, you all should be so grateful. Not only you obviously have a veteran such as Corinne and I here on the case, but both of these newcomers to the Beholders have proven to be quite capable. So I'm quite confident we'll be able to help out with any problems you may be having.
Well, we aren't having any problems currently. I certainly hope we don't run into any. We're just having dinner. And
I'm sure it'll stay that way.
there's nothing I could think of that could change that.
Of course.
By the way, I rolled a
did.
perception check to see if I
Never
picked
go
up on
wrong.
the secret handshake that Corinne did, and I got a 19. So now I know the secret
Now
thing.
you know
to
the secret
communicate
handshake
with,
too.
with
I
people.
love it. I love it. I low key think that like Corinne is maybe a little bit like non-union.
Oh.
That's I think if I was not in character, I would have made the sign to you of a scab. Like
Yeah, right.
Right? So I'm like, well, somebody doesn't know when.
I
my God.
forgot what I was gonna say.
this cat's perfect.
Oh, that's so cute.
I know how to do.
Somebody's a little overconfident in their abilities to keep up the dinner party from going sideways. Even the best of us plan
Yes.
for disaster.
Okay.
And,
So
what is on the menu, my good fellow? My eyes went wide at the word of a dinner party.
well, I guess you'll just have to wait and see. I'm not the chef. I'm simply the butler.
He's the butler, all right.
And so he leads you in through the door.
Is there someone we can talk to about dietary restrictions? Because my mom won't let me eat certain things, and I just want to make sure that I'm allowed to have. I have a peanut allergy, so I can't have anything with peanuts in it.
Which is quite disappointing because I happen to have a fondness for peanuts.
Well, then you can have them.
Okay, question.
Yes, correct.
If I'm going to be like very, very critical of the cleanliness of this house, is that an investigation or perception?
I guess depends. Is it are you looking surface level or are you like
I'm
wiping
being
the finger across
I'm-
the mantle,
Yeah,
like
okay, I'm
checking
thinking
behind the
investigation.
painting? Okay, that's an investigation.
As Corinne, as I
Oh, no.
I was gonna say, as I see you go to do it, I put a hand on your shoulder and cast guidance.
Okay, what does that do again?
Plus 1d4.
Okay, well, I still got a nat 1, so I don't think
Yeah.
that makes
Oh,
any
that-
makes.
That
You
math
go-
ain't mathin'.
Yeah, you go to kind of swipe your finger across like one of the things as you come in the door, and you get a splinter. So you get nothing from this.
Well, I think you got a lot from it. That the wood is so splintered
Right,
that
that's
you get
true,
when your
yeah,
finger
but-
across it. And also, don't worry, Colonel. I don't have the kind of allergy where particles in the air will affect me. I just can't eat any of it. So if there's any
Oh,
peanuts, you can have mine.
Good to know. Good to
I
know.
don't die. I just get like it's like a whole thing, and there's like a lot of swelling, and it's not good for anybody. And
Don't
I
worry,
can't
we
sleep.
Corinne's trained in all sorts of Heimlich maneuvers and other doodads, and she's got her.
CPR certified.
Oh, that's great to know.
You
What
have to
song do
be
you do when you're
got
doing
this
your
one.
your pressure point? What do they call it?
It's staying alive naturally.
Naturally.
She's got her magical minor EpiPens.
Impression.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking for.
Or Magipen.
MagiPen.
So
Some of those,
as
magical
you walk
Lucas devices that do this.
as you come through, there's a welcome mat. And when you step on that, you feel it press down a little bit. And then a swirl of magic goes around you. And all the water is gone. The mud is gone. You're as clean as if you had just taken a shower and your clothes were freshly pressed, which they were before you stepped out into the rain, thanks to Corinne.
Where do I get one of those?
Yes, Colonel, we simply must have HQ put this maybe in our carriage. Even we must be presentable at all times.
I think it might just be an enchantment of prestidigitation. I think that's something you probably could accomplish.
I
Yeah.
can.
You'd have to speak to the master for that one. He is the Archmage.
Dear fellow, you seem to have limited knowledge on many things of this household.
I think that's kind of rude. I think you're supposed. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, he
I'm sure
definitely,
he's
definitely gives
Great
him
at the things he's in charge of.
Yeah, he definitely gives Strand a bit of a side eye and says, "We all have our jobs to do, and our jobs that we are not in charge of. Perhaps one day you'll learn that." And with that, he leads you into the parlor.
Strand, I should warn you. I know that like you're obviously a really good detective because you work with the beholders, but I found that like when I'm looking for mysteries, that I find like making people mad before we even like have to solve anything usually makes it not want to cooperate if we have to ask them questions later.
Oh, dear child, but there is no mystery, just fine eatery, and that is what we should be focusing on.
Okay, I'm just a thought. It's fine.
And Strand walks even more proudly and head higher.
Jeez.
There's always okay.
It's a mystery. Yes.
Do any of you want to do a like perception check or anything?
Oh, sure.
You're kind of like you're coming in and you're kind of looking around.
I got a 12.
Nice.
I should start rolling in the shard thing instead of in D&D.
I don't know. I
You
got
can
an
roll wherever
18 on
you
my
want.
die, and then I got a 1 in shard, so I don't know how I'm feeling.
All right, I got a 2 plus because my guidance. A 15.
Ooh.
Okay. So all of you that rolled, when you walk in, you notice that there are windows, even though on the outside you saw none. And that the view from inside does not match the hilltop that you just left. You're looking at a nice clear sunset hanging over a gently waving oceanscape.
Okay, I will do an investigation check for any hints of food, what kind of food is being served, with a 21.
All right, give me 1 second.
One of my flaws is I can't resist a good meal.
That's fair.
Oh,
That is
gotcha.
true.
Mine
I was
is
gonna
like
heal
over-
Corinne, and I realized I didn't take any healing spells, so that'll be interesting if it happens to be a thing later.
It is. Oh, I thought it was here somewhere. We'll say that it's roast griffin
Ooh.
with sweet potatoes. And you can also, with that roll, you can also tell it's not done yet, but there's a moose in process back there. Probably chocolate.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like,
And on top of that, by the entryway is a little bowl of peanut brittle.
I was like, "There's a moose on a spit. What? like a moose?" And then
You see me
And it-
staring longingly at the peanut brittle and then
Aw.
shaking my head and walking away. It would almost be worth it. Although one time my uncle tried to give me peanut brittle and I opened it up and it was a snake. So
mm,
you don't want to. That was scary.
that's very
Mm.
scary.
In front of you is a vast parlor. It's complete with a bubbling fountain, statues. There's like twin staircases that are leading up to like a viewing gallery that rings the upper portion of the foyer. There's also some trays floating around with champagne glasses that are about shoulder height.
I keep jumping up and trying to grab one, but I can't.
You're only what? You said 10 or 11?
I'm 11. Yeah.
11, yeah.
Originally,
Yeah,
I said she was 8, and then I reevaluated. I was like, 8 might not be functional enough for this, so 8, I'll do 11.
Yeah.
I looked
I
at
like
how
it.
old Harriet the Spy was and Encyclopedia Brown, and they were like a 10 and 11. So
There you go.
There you go. And then on top of that, you also notice that this single square room is bigger than the footprint of the tower you entered.
Hmm.
Bigger on the inside.
We-
I
It's
grabbed
smaller on
two
the outside.
champagne. I grab 2 champagne flutes and give one to Lorelei. I'm like, best acquaint yourself with the finer things early, little one.
Oh, I chug the whole. I throw the whole thing back immediately, and then I go. Like,
Oh no!
It's
it
probably
tastes
good.
like spoiled juice.
It's probably a good thing the butler walked away at that moment.
Mhm.
I spit it all back into the cup that I was carrying, and then I pour it into a plant.
Love it.
I forgot to share with you. Oops, get back there. What
Sorry,
the
Colonel. Didn't mean to
butler looks like.
Interrupt. Ugh.
There we go.
Oh, for a second I thought he had a
I thought
glowing
he had,
eye.
I
was
thought
like,
he had
wait,
a red glowing eye.
yeah. Wait, is the butler of a Terminator? We should be worried about it. I think he did it. We don't know what the crime is yet, but I'm going to assume he did it.
Resistance is futile. Drink some champagne.
We do not follow your unions and your contracts.
I think a kitten's attacking me. Let's see here. Let's see. In the room, there are several doors leading out of the room, and probably about a dozen people standing about, conversing. Let's see. Would you recognize anyone? You know what? I'll let you. Are you all kind of local to the region? Would you say?
I think the colonel certainly would have traveled through, if it's near Baldur's Gate, like probably would have traveled through the area, and especially if this archmage is like a well-to-do person, he would at least, even if he didn't remember him earlier, I think probably have been familiar with some.
Yeah,
of
and
the
these are his
local-
guests, so they're like folks in a similar level stratum.
Yeah, because prior to becoming a beholder, the colonel was obviously was a judge, so he knew a lot of folks.
What about the rest of you?
Yeah, I don't think I probably am doing a lot of far traveling at 11 years old, so I'm probably a local. I probably spent a lot of time at Candlekeep and then also at Baldur's Gate, so that makes sense to me.
Okay.
Well, I know my Corinne is harbor folk is her background, so she's probably from the city, probably grew up near the docks. So
Would she have any knowledge of upper crust types of folks, or?
only what she's learned since taking this position.
Okay. And what about Stran? How does he handle these things?
Yeah, there would be a quick survey of the room to see if there was anybody that maybe a scheme or scam might have run across and didn't go over well.
Well, let's have you all roll a history, and
Oh god.
I'll base your success on your experience of these things.
2.
Oh, jeez.
So you don't recognize anyone.
Yep, 6.
Okay, you're not too familiar either.
Yeah,
I
got
got
a 9.
I got an 11. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. These guys aren't familiar to you directly. It might not stop Stran from pretending they are, but
Right. Could I do either? I'm not sure if perception or investigation. I'm trying to tell if they're a little more upper crust.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's just do a. I almost feel like, since you're trying to get a feel for what they are, I almost feel like that's an insight.
Ooh, yeah, I'm down for that.
Right? You're picking up on their attitudes and.
Yeah.
Actually,
I don't know. I don't know nothing. That's a nat 1. Except, you know what? Oh my gosh.
Lorelei's got the entire layout. I rolled a 26 on my insight.
Okay,
Damn.
well, so what you're picking up on is that there is, off to the side, you see a half orc. He's wearing the robes and everything. You're pretty sure, based off of that letter, that this is the gentleman that the letter's about, that they're celebrating, his accomplishments.
It's the guy's son, though, right?
He's just his protege.
Oh, okay.
Um,
But that's
and
the guy that.
The Agathar.
yeah, Agathar.
Yeah.
And then you see a kind of, I couldn't find a picture of it because no one makes them, but it's a slightly older blonde half elf lady. She definitely holds herself in a way that implies she's from some sort of money, some sort of upper crust group. You see another gentleman who isn't necessarily from a higher status, not the same as the half elf, but he definitely has an aura of authority about him. And also, you see a big tree that's alive.
Ah,
As soon as I did my ocular pat down, I just didn't care, and my mind's on the food. That's my excuse for rolling a 1.
And also the tree man has an opening in his chest, and there's strings running down.
Strings?
Yeah, like
Okay.
guitar strings.
Like this kind, like yarn kind of string.
No, more like guitar strings.
So they
Oh,
actually like pulled tight and everything.
Yep.
gotcha.
Okay.
Yep.
I was thinking like streamers dangling down or something.
He's got garrote wire. Assassin!
Do you yell that?
No.
I think that Keen, my cat, is very excited about the tree guy and tries to like jump up onto like the different tree parts of his body. Up, Keen, get down, buddy, get down. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. He just gets very excited.
What's going on here?
I'm so sorry. He gets so excited. I'm so sorry. Here, buddy. And then I call him back to me.
He kind of squints and kind of steps away from you. It's not.
Sorry, I have a complicated cat tree at home, and you just look a lot like it. So I think he thought that was.
So you're saying I look like an object to you?
No, not to me, but to my cat. Yes.
Aren't we all objects to cats? Don't they all think we're just...
Yeah, he climbs on me all the time, and he loves me. So I wouldn't take it as an insult to you. I think it meant that he really appreciated you. Thought you were really cool.
it is true. The old adage goes: if it fits, it sits.
Yes, indeed, the holy word.
So, how are you? Do you want to roll to see if you convince him that's true? Is
Sure.
this a persuade, like you truly believe this, or is this more of a deception of like, let's just cool this guy down?
I think it's persuade only because she's also saying he loves me because he climbs on me. Like she does think that. So
That's
yeah,
fair.
like I definitely don't think she thinks her cat thought anything like untoward was happening.
Yeah.
So a 25.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
He says, "Well, I have not met many cats, so I guess I don't understand." And he reaches out and gently pets the cat.
Aw.
Says,
oops, sorry.
"As long as he keeps, or she,
His name's
as long
Keen.
as Keen keeps his hands to himself, then I'll be okay with him."
That sounds fair. Keen, be really nice to. I didn't actually catch your name.
My name is... Where'd he go?
It's right there on the screen.
Oh, thank you. It is. But,
Yeah, out of character, I know it, but I was role playing.
Radavon, the strung.
Oh, like that's really cool. That's such a cool.
Yeah,
name.
he plays across it, and it makes like a lilting sound. It's even more than just the echo, like the sound from his chest. Like there's
So say, is there like resonance?
being an awakened tree. There's some magicalness to him, and that comes out in the music.
Oh my gosh, I pull out one of my instruments. Let's see, which one do I want to pull out?
Yeah. I forgot.
God, she was a
I
bard.
forget what I have here. I have a little. I'll say it's like almost like a clarinet, like flute type thing, and I pull it out and I kind of like play along with him.
Nice. Okay. So you go. You're playing along. then
I did not play very well because I got a 10 on my performance check, but I'm not used to
10 is
accompanying.
perfectly acceptable.
it's
Yeah.
his
For
magical
the first time
music
playing
kind
along
of-
with someone's chest, it's pretty good.
Yeah, right? Exactly. While you guys are playing, the elf lady kind of walks up to Iron Tusk, recognizing, potentially one of her own among the rabble that just came through the door. Doesn't even make eye contact with Corinne. Because she's just the help, right? Like,
Right, exactly. Because I don't know if I found any. I probably am just wearing my housekeeper's outfit because that's just what I've got.
And so she goes up to Iron Tusk and she says, "Why, hello there. I am Lady Gwendolyn of Grandland Manor."
Well, Lady Gwendolyn, it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I know we haven't had the chance to meet personally, but I believe I've heard of your exploits.
Oh, I
Corinne is
haven't done
giving her
too
the
much.
stick
Just funded a few, art projects. That statue in the town square of Baldur's Gate. Just a little thing I helped pay for.
Ah, yes.
Fancy, fancy.
And
I
What-
grabbed like champagne. I'm like,
I lean over to Corinne. There's a lot of statues. Which one's she talking about?
I don't know, but I'm sure it's the ugly one.
I think I look around the room and say, I know we are a bit fashionably late to the party, but what's the talk of the town here? Obviously, I know we're all here for the Archmage's latest exploits, but what are the people talking of?
Well, there's not a whole lot in the local town. Just the average hubbub of the life. This is really the biggest thing we've got going on lately. And it's not the Archmage; it's his protege. And she points over to Agramar.
Agatha, yes.
Agathar. He just finished. There's a thing here. Just finished a thing. Sorry, guys, this isn't perfectly laid out here.
Okay.
All right.
I'm not interrupting, but
Go ahead.
when I hear the word funded, I kind of straddle over to start listening, hearing that Lady Gwendolyn does funding for projects.
So remind me, were you talking to Agatha or are you still talking to the lady? I forget if you walked over to him. I think you're still talking to her, right? So she says, "Oh, well, he just went on a journey north. He had some battles, but he brought back some amazing artifacts."
And are any of those artifacts here in the tower?
Oh, they would. I doubt he would let them leave.
And when you say the north, how far north? Are we talking Icewind Dale, Spine of the World? Whereabouts?
From my understanding, he was traveling among all of those. He mentioned icy peaks. He mentioned bitter storms and frozen caves and ice giants and all sorts of things.
Well, sounds quite exciting. I hope that he'll perhaps share some of the sights with us, some of the exploits that he encountered.
Oh, he wouldn't let anyone not hear them. I'll tell you that much.
And Lady Gwendolyn, not that I'm one to gossip, but tell me about that gentleman over there. I can't quite place his name, and I'll nod in what I know to be from the screen, the Mayor Montgomery.
Oh.
That fellow. Just curious about what
he looks
what
very
Lady
good.
Gwendolyn thinks of him.
Oh, he's the mayor of I had it here, mayor of
the mayor
Queenstown.
of Montgomery.
Mayor of Montgomery, and his name is Montgomery. What a coincidence! He of Mornstead, which is the town just at the bottom of this hill.
Oh, okay. So where we are.
Yes.
Gotcha. And how's his relationship with this here Agathar and Sir Ulick, I believe?
From my understanding, they work together quite a bit. Ulick often buys supplies from the town for his various spells and components and such. So they have a bit of a working relationship.
Good to know. Good to know. Well, it's again mighty fun to make your acquaintance. I'm gonna continue to sort of take in the sights and sounds, but I do so hope to find you around the party.
Oh, don't you worry. And she kind of just reaches up and runs a finger down and walks away.
Lady Gwendolyn, if I may have a moment.
Oh, hello.
Thank you so much for being so polite with my dear great friend's visage. I know it can be quite a sight, but I happen to overhear you speaking of funding art projects, and my dear, I have quite a few astounding projects in the works that maybe one of such fine taste as yours might be interested in. And I'll do a deception for that
Yeah,
one.
I was gonna say,
I
let's
don't have any
see how.
projects. It's a 14, but yeah, I'm not going to burn anything for this.
Okay. She eyes you and says, "Perhaps I'll get your name later." And she grabs a champagne flute and walks away.
I start grumbling to myself. Old Tart wouldn't know a deal if she saw one. And I grab 2 more flutes and give Lorelai another flute of champagne.
I take it and I smile at you, and then when you walk away, I pour it in another plant because I realize I don't like it.
Yes,
So I'm like,
yeah.
One of the plants in the corner is starting to wilt a little bit.
Well, you know what's
already.
funny? Yeah, what we don't realize is that plant is actually Stradivon's date. And it's getting very
Hammered.
drunk.
Yeah.
Like,
You're
yeah,
gonna have a
bring 'em
good
on.
night. Yeah.
Yeah,
Come on.
exactly.
She's
Oh.
photosynthesizing with other plants.
So yeah, I'll say, Dan, to save you the like having to look up every single person, like NPC's name and background. I think the Colonel would probably be just kind of like
Yeah, milling about. I was about to have
getting
that
into
happen.
sort of his like,
Yeah.
like he's never been a politician, but he's
Yeah,
rubbed
for sure.
shoulders with.
Well, these guys are also
so-
doing laps, especially Agathar, right? It's his
Yep.
party, so
Yep.
he actually just saw you guys finish talking to Lady Gwendolyn, and he had caught that she was like looking towards him when you were asking about him. So he walks on over and says, "How are you enjoying the party so far?"
Well, it's the refreshments are mighty fine indeed, and I like look around at the spread. I think the Colonel's probably been using his trunk to pick up, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
And Agathar says, "I don't think I've seen you around here before. I never forget a face."
Well, I tell you what, good Sir Agathar, it's a good thing if you don't recognize me and I don't recognize you, because that means you didn't find yourself in the unfortunate position of being in my courtroom.
Well, I'm certainly glad of that. I tend to try to avoid such things if I can.
Yes, I happen to hear that you, speaking of avoiding things, you're sounds like one thing you're not avoiding is adventure. And off in the great north, the icy north.
Oh, yes. Yes. That's what we're celebrating here tonight is my journey up there.
All right. Well, let me introduce you to the rest of the beholders here. Of course, the Honorable Corinne Granite-Heart, a most trusted, esteemed servant of mine and the dearest friend
And
I have on
he
this.
grabs Corinne's hand and kisses it.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to meet you,
'Cause
Mr. Agathar.
He's a gentleman.
This you might not know her name yet, but you will. This is a young Lorelei, a prodigy at the Beholder. up and coming in the ranks.
Hello.
And he bows because he does recognize that she's young, and he feels it would be inappropriate to make the same gestures he did with Corinne.
Yeah. Fair.
And of course, last but not least is the newly appointed ambassador of the, the Beholders, Strand.
Tis I, Strangir Akamanakin, and I give him a bow.
Well, he bows too. It's fine to meet you. Would you like me to tell you about my adventure?
Yes,
you can
please.
tell me if you like.
So he calls everyone over in the room. He's like, "Let me tell you what happened." And he talks about his travels to the north, and he says, there were frozen peaks and they clawed at the sky. There were bitter storms that tried to knock us off our path. We lost sight of the trail many times, but managed to stay to it. And we fought giants, and there were caves full of ice and trolls. But we conquered them all, and we managed to defeat them and bring back several artifacts. And then he points over, and you notice now that there are some small marble pillars over to the side. And then he starts removing some silken coverings. And the first thing you see is a circular silver breastplate that wraps around the torso. He's got like a little mannequin. And he says, that was previously a giant's ring that I was able to pick from its corpse. And then he pulls another one up and he shows, it looks like just a giant pearl. It's as big as an apple. And he says, this is a globe of modify memory. It was an earring for the giant queen. The poor bugger that picked it up before we knew what it was completely forgot what he was doing there.
You said how big was the pearl?
About the size of an apple.
Oh, small. Okay, but still, that's pretty big.
Pretty
big thing.
Yeah, the poor bugger that picked it up completely forgot what he was doing there. He blanked out at the last 10 minutes. And then on the final pillar, he removes it, and you see a pair of matching ram's horns carved out of an off-white ivory and banded with iron wraps.
That's offensive.
These horns allow you to communicate between them across great distances, as if you were speaking face to face.
Corinne looks a little scandalized. Where on earth did they get the ivory from?
It's an off ivory color, like.
Okay.
So
Well, these are some impressive items indeed.
I'm taking copious notes about like everything he's sharing and his stories and everything like that. And I'm like drawing diagrams of all these items.
I would like to perform an Arcana check on the globe, the giant pearl.
okay.
Seems just like a giant pearl. 4.
It's just a big old pearl.
You don't see anything magic about this?
Remind me, what was the first? What did you say the first ring was?
He said that it was a giant's
Came
ring.
from a dragon, I heard.
It came from it was a giant's ring.
Okay,
Oh.
but he didn't say
And
anything
they-
about like things
giant,
like that.
not dragon.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's now forged into a breastplate.
Let's see. First, he shows off a thick circular silver breastplate that wraps around the warrior's torso. He tells you it was previously a giant's ring that they were able to
Okay.
pick off its corpse.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I was thinking dragon instead of giant. It's been a day.
And Stradivan is still playing in the background. Broom, broom, broom. And then the who you now know is the mayor walks over and says, Agathar, it is very impressive what you have done, and I'm hoping that as Ulick's protege, you continue to work with our little town, and we continue to have a wonderful relationship. And Agathar claps him on the shoulder and says, I hope so too. And then the mayor turns to you folks like, I don't recognize your faces. And he bows to you. And we can skip the
Yeah,
who you
I'll,
are, right?
I'll introduce everyone again. And
Yeah.
Stand here, a come knocking.
Lorelei, lore.
And all the rest.
I go to school at Candlekeep.
And then as you guys finish introducing, the chef comes to the door and says, dinner is ready to be served. And Bendel the butler, who's been kind of standing off to the side, says, very well then. Shall we all go to dinner? And then he leads you all into a slender room dominated by two features. The first being a grand copper-topped table that can see a dozen guests. And secondly, there is a massive portrait of the Archmage hanging on the southern wall. It's him arrayed in a long purple and gold robe with his pointed hat on and majestic blonde hair and beard flowing, and amidst a chaotic battle in the background, he's shooting lightning out of a wand in each hand, double fisting him. Each of you is guided to a seat, which has your name written in calligraphy across the napkin.
This is fancy.
Oh, here we go. That's pretty close. As the chef begins to bring out the first course, which is smoked griffin rib on a bed of crown root batanet and and silk greens, Bendel returns with some beverages. Whatever you all would like to drink, I suppose.
Champagne for me and the little one, please.
Just the apple cider, please.
I'll take another ale if you have it.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, Corinne will take an ale too. Because
Yeah, of course.
I like that I went from like you were giving me my first champagne and now you're just getting me drunk. Like if I was actually drinking all of them, it's like the third one.
I think he's probably impressed with how good you hold your
I
alcohol
I
right
would
now.
like to think that it's because Strand's intelligence and wisdom is so low that he doesn't realize that Lorelei's a child. Like he thinks like an adult gnome.
It's like halflings love to drink, and
Yes.
this is a halfling. Yeah.
Yes,
By the way, I'm obsessed with this icon for this chef because I can't tell if he's like DTF or if he's a murderer. Like it's like a combination.
It could be either.
Oh
Who
yeah,
knows,
yeah. I was gonna
right?
say
It's true.
for folks
It's
on the
true.
street. Oh yeah, you did zoom in. Yeah, it's like I could kill you or
Or
It's like
what?
it's like the unbuttoned shirt, but he has the giant knife behind his head. Like,
But he's a
about
chef,
it.
right? And he's cutting griffin.
Yeah, it's true.
Giving you those kitchen eyes.
Without saying anything about it and in trying to be polite, Lorelei is avoiding all the meat on her plate and is just going for the vegetables and eating just the vegetables and but not calling attention to it.
I would like to do a perception check on that real quick.
On what exactly?
Just seeing if the
I don't
noticed
mind if you
that.
just say you notice it without rolling for it.
Oh,
Yeah, okay, great. Because I'm going to start talking to you again about enjoying the finer things while taking the meat.
Yeah.
Seeing that you're not touching it.
Not touching the good stuff. Ah!
Yeah.
Sorry, someone just bit me.
I think that
hopefully a cat.
as I see you doing that, I'm kind of relieved because like I don't want to be rude to the host, but I also like don't want to eat the meat. So like I think that like it makes it kind of best of both worlds for me because now like you're getting this thing and you're happy and I get to pretend like the food could disappear from my plate.
Perfect.
I love that.
And you don't need to roll for this, but you guys also notice that there's an empty seat. Other than Ulix, because he's.
I was gonna say because we haven't seen him yet, right?
No, he's apparently probably still doing spell stuff. This is for his protege, right?
He's even more fashionably late.
Yeah. And in fact, Bendel apologizes for Ulick being there, saying, "Sorry, he's wrapped up in one of his many experiments, but I'm sure he'll join us any minute."
Good. I'm so looking forward to meeting him. No, you bastard.
Strand, as you're taking food off my plate, I You said it was Griffin, right?
Yeah, it's Griffin. Really.
Well, Griffin, that's they're part lion, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Never mind then. I was gonna feed some food to,
Oh,
to my cat, and then that feels weird.
You're like, that's too close. That's too
even
close.
though I think a lion and would eat another kind of cat, but it doesn't matter. But yeah, it's fine.
Oh, I must know where this griffin was sourced from.
From the deep jungles, I suppose. He yells back, "Sure, where's the griffin from?" And you just hear more. It's like, yes, from the what are the jungles?
Cholt. The
Yeah.
Choltian jungle.
From Cholt.
I'm running to Annihilation right now, so that's
Nice.
that lines up
Nice.
perfectly.
I homebrew a lot, so I don't actually really know the environment very well.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
As you guys are eating, you hear the front door a bell go off, and Bendel says, "Oh, I believe that might be our final guest. He was running late," and so he leaves. And a few seconds later, a tall blue dragonborn enters the room.
Ooh.
Why don't you go ahead and roll another? Let's roll another history, Iron Tusk.
All right. And with guidance, I think that's going to be pretty good. It's a 19.
Yeah.
Okay. So he introduces Justikar Wargreaves, and you recognize him as a traveling magistrate for the county of Devonshire, and he is a right and honorable authority figure, and he wears this like decorated armor that's lacquered with ivory, gold inlays, and so like you're aware that this is much like you, a very noble, honest, and justice-minded gentleman.
I lean over to Corinne. Now that there, Justikar is an honorable fellow indeed. We are in fine company.
Oh, very nice. He's very nice. He's very shiny.
Good evening, all. Please stay in your seats. There's no need to get up, the Dragonborn says. He greets you all. As we said, you recognize him from around the county. And then Bendel's like, well then, now that we're all in attendance, I'll go fetch the Archmage. I'm gonna try to get him down here. And so please excuse me. And he leaves. The mayor turns to him and says, Wargreaves, good sir. I'm so glad you could join us. I had no time to thank you for helping us out with that vineyard dispute 3 weeks back. Happy to serve, Lord and country. No thanks are needed. And so the Wargreaves takes his seat and leans across the table, talks with Agathar. Agathar, I know you made your way into the Sunken Spine Swamp 2 moons ago. How fared that expedition? And so they're talking and, everyone's murmuring and, all that. And then you hear a scream and the sound of rushed footsteps. Bum, 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 bum. And then through the double doors, Bendel bursts and says, the Archmage is dead. So,
what a surprise.
shocked and stunned.
Does this mean we're not getting the moose?
The other guests, there's gasps and looks of shock. The lady faints.
The colonel could see that the fainting was coming and went to catch her with his trunk to keep let her steadily down.
And the mayor also runs over to kind of help. He fans her a little, maybe splashes some water on her face.
The colonel's so much nicer. I was going to let her fall and be like, maybe some funding would have helped.
You can still say that if you want.
No, she didn't biff it, so there's no point in being petty.
Good.
Oh.
You guys saying something?
Sorry, yeah. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm getting all of your videos just turned off for me because it says my network is
Oh.
low.
Um,
I think the colonel would stand up and he's been very like nice and affable, but I think the bit of the judge personality is going to come out, and I'm going to kind of in a very loud, booming voice call for some calm in the room, and order Bendel to lock all of the doors and ensure that no one leaves. And I will use my orders demand, which is a channel divinity that I'm not technically trying to charm people, but it says you can present your holy symbol, and each creature of your choice that can see or hear you within 30 feet must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be charmed by you. And you can make them drop. I'm not really, I'm just trying to use that to impose some order in the room.
Copy that.
you're standing up and being authoritative.
Yes.
Taking charge.
Because I've seen these situations get chaotic and people start teleporting out or leaving, and I know that we need to lock this place down.
Okay. Well, Wargreaves 100% agrees with you, and says that he can actually cast a ward on the front doors to prevent anyone from leaving, even if they try. And then he turns to Bendels and says, What exactly happened? And Bendel's like, well, I went to fetch him in his quarters, and when I entered, I found him lying in a pool of blood in the middle of the room.
Are we certain it was his own blood?
That's a good question.
Well, I'm not really sure how to check. And Wargreaves says, well, that doesn't sound like an accident. No, Master Ulick is really careful. So...
I was... well, of course, Bendel, I'm sorry that you had to find your master in such a state, but might we see the scene of the crime? We beholders would be happy to investigate.
Kind of straighten my apron.
This is what we do.
Justica Wargreaves, would you, as a fellow man of law and order, would you perhaps stay here and look over the guests and see that nobody leaves the premises until we can come back and question? Not that anyone is here is under suspicion.
Absolutely. Agathar, are there any other ways in and out of the manor? No, there's just the front door.
Insight check.
I'm
Okay.
I'm giving the butler the like.
Yeah, go ahead. Do it to it. Let's see.
The non-union.
23.
He's legit about that.
Okay.
With that
He's sus of
23,
the butler
I'll,
and Gwendolyn.
I'll have you also realize, based on all the things you've seen, this is one of those it's like one of the summoned, towers. It's not a physically built tower. You're in a pocket dimension right now.
Oh, okay.
Right, and so that front
Got
door is the only way out because
portal.
magically that's how it's designed.
Oh, will it last if the guy who cast it has been killed?
What a
Oh,
great
no.
question, huh?
God, I hope so.
But then he
Yes,
turns,
it will. We're fine. No.
he turns to Iron Tusk and says, "Yes, foul play must be considered. And has anyone departed yet?" And Bendel says, "No, everyone who showed up is still here." And then Wargreaves is like, "If this has been murder, then I suspect that the killer is still here among us." Dun dun dun, and the eyeballs Strand.
Who's continuing to sit at the table
His
just
passive
eating.
insight, no.
And-
But then like the guests, many of which are noble, are just like, "How dare you?" kind of a thing. Then
that's a
Justicar
word.
rises, puts his hand in the air, he clenches his fist, and the doors slam shut all around you. And he says, "I will seal the front door to ensure the killer is unable to sneak away before they're discovered. In the meantime, we will work together to find out who committed such a heinous crime." And so he leads you all to the front door, and he
before-
places.
Sorry,
go ahead.
are we headed up to the crime scene, or when you say front door?
He's making sure you guys see what's going on.
Oh,
Okay.
He
gotcha.
wants everyone to be aware of the situation. He's
Okay.
kind of taking control right now. And he places his hand upon it, and you hear him mutter something deep and guttural. And then you see just a web of sigils spread out across the door, glowing faintly. And then you hear a deep chunk. And he says, Agathar, this mansion, will the magics that sustain it, will it end at some point? Yeah. The Archmage always journeys outside to recast a spell at dawn each day.
Oh shit.
And what will happen when the spell ends? Well, we'll all be dropped harmlessly outside the tower. And the mansion? Well, without the Archmage to resummon it, it'll be gone for good. So Wargreave looks grim. Then we only have a few hours left before all evidence disappears forever. We will need to act quickly, form up into groups, and see what we can discover about the house. I'll start working on a few divinations that may be of aid to you. Come find me in the parlor if you have any questions. And then he points to you guys. Be careful. The killer may still be active.
It's not our first rodeo, sir.
I'm aware. I recognize that symbol, the beholders. And I look forward to the help that you can provide. And so then he just starts writing on the floor, sigils and stuff. And you guys are free to start kind of looking around. I'm going to
I would like to do an
on-
Arcana check to see if I can validate that these sigils and shit are really what he's saying they are.
Okay.
Modified 20.
He's legit.
Okay.
Much
Okay.
much like how what the Iron Tusk told you. He is a honorable man of justice. Probably the only person you can trust in this building, and that includes Stran.
Because I'm suspicious of everyone.
I mean, that's fair. And then you should see now on your screen, these are all the different rooms in the building. And of course, there's his bedroom suite is where it occurred.
We should definitely go there first.
Yeah,
And of
I wanna
course,
go more.
you're aware of
See,
all the main guests are listed there as well.
I want to cast Detect Thoughts
Ooh.
and mark that off. And I'm basically kind of doing a cursory read thoughts, paths around the room to see if anybody is consciously thinking about okay, just keep basically if anyone's thoughts are giving anything away that might be
Play it
useful.
cool. Play it cool.
Yeah.
And
Or
how does
just
that
get
work
through
again?
this.
Let me see.
So detect thoughts. For doing a read thoughts, I have to target one creature at a time. So I think I would look to see who looks like they're most maybe trying not to call attention to themselves. So I can maybe roll an insight check for that. But basically, I can learn what is most on their mind right now without having to roll or anything. And then if I want to probe deeper, I can make them make a saving throw to see if I go deeper into that. But right now, I'm
Gotcha.
just looking for people's conscious thoughts.
Got it. Okay. So, there's all the minds are obviously really there's a lot going on in there in general, right? They were here for dinner, right? They're being accused of murder. There was a murder. And just so you're when you check their minds, you're definitely picking up a lot of just all sorts of different emotions and thoughts going through. And all of them are thinking about the fact that there's a murder of some sort going on. But you haven't really picked up on anything explicit. I will call out though. I keep clicking on the wrong screen. The chef is in the kitchen. He's not
Okay.
here.
Okay. All right. Does anybody have any thoughts that might make me want to probe deeper? I'm happy to roll for insight for that.
I mean, other than the Justicar, most of them already have some level of. They all are here. They've all got all connections to Ulick. They've known him for a long time, so you definitely get a feeling that they've all got, like some ulterior thing with him beyond just being a BFF.
Okay.
You definitely get a feeling that all of them are worried that they might be accused
Okay.
of the murder.
I think I'm gonna start then with Agathar, and like maybe like if he's starting to worry that he might be accused, I want to like try to dig to see if I can figure out why he thinks he would be accused. Like what would his motive be if he has one? Like not saying he definitely has one, but like, oh, they would think I'm doing this because of this or whatever. So
Okay, and what do I need to do for that one?
he has to make a saving throw. He has to make a wisdom saving throw, and the DC is 15.
Got it. So then I click on. So this is my
And if
first
he
roll, Nick.
succeeds-
It's my first roll.
I was going to say, if he succeeds, does he know that you're detecting, or does he just he just fails?
He knows that I did. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and this was a wisdom, you said?
Yes.
All right, that's a 15. And what was your DC?
15. So what happens is he's able to resist the spell. He knows he knows someone tried to probe into his mind, and I can shift away so he doesn't know that it's. I think he knows that it was me, but I'm not sure if that's. It says either way, the target knows you're probing into its mind, so he must know that it was me.
Yeah, so he picked up.
'Cause I was looking right at him,
And he is a mage, so he's got probably a little bit more like.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but as soon as he succeeds on it, the spell ends, so it's done for me. But yeah, he's definitely aware that that's there. Yeah.
Okay, so he looks at you and says, Miss, I'd prefer you stay out of my brain, and it's a bit rude to dig in without consent.
Well, it's a bit rude to murder someone without their consent, so I figured
he's leaning
if I
down,
was,
like, so you think I killed him?
I think you could have. You were able to face off against all these giants in the north. I don't know why you wouldn't be capable of facing. I'm not saying you did it. I was just seeing if you did, and so far I don't know if you did.
Well, I think unless you have a real good reason, you probably should stay out of someone's head. It's a bit.
Is a murder not a real good reason?
I didn't kill him.
Well, how would I have learned that if I hadn't checked the brain?
Perhaps asking would have been nice first, young
so-
lady.
Did you kill him?
No.
Did anybody here kill him?
And then
I look at
they're all
Lady
like,
Gwendolyn and
yeah.
Mayor Montgomery.
I think young Lorelei admire the ambition, but we do have. I think we should, before we go and start asking questions, we should go and take in the scene of the crime itself. It may lead us to ask the right questions.
Well, I'm the one getting in trouble for not asking questions, so I just thought I would ask more questions. Like,
and Agatha, I do hope you understand. Obviously, of course, it is always more polite to ask consent, but in a situation such as this, I'm sure the young Miss Lorelei was simply doing her due diligence to try to find the perpetrator of this crime. So, I hope you will forgive us the trespass.
I don't know where he is on my screen, but
Yeah.
I'm pointing where he
Yeah, he
he's
just
right.
crosses his arm and says, I just hope in the future that in my home as well, a little bit more respect is paid.
She has been drinking quite a bit.
He cocks an eyebrow. And how old is she?
I think that we're getting a little bit too in the weeds, as it were.
And
Bendel,
while we're
Bendel-
talking about politeness, I feel like it's not polite to ask a lady her age. And then I start walking towards where the body is.
And
Yeah.
that's fair.
I'll ask Bendel to escort us to the bedroom suite, and sort of nod to Jessica Wargreaves to keep the rest of the folks here in lockdown.
He definitely picks up on what you're putting down. All right.
But Colonel, and I motion to all the food.
I don't think that you're going to want to bring any of that with you to the scene, Strand.
Are people staying in the room while we are going upstairs?
Yeah. The Wargreaves is going to He brought you all into the foyer and is leaving you there. He did forget about the chef. The chef's in the kitchen because
Okay.
he wasn't in the room
Chef's in
when
the
he came
kitchen,
busting in,
this
so he
is
probably
how
doesn't
it
even know what's
sounds.
going on.
I'm gonna leave Keen downstairs
Okay.
in the room so that if somebody does something suspicious, he can alert me telepathically.
I
So
love that.
I can
Fair
see
enough.
through his eyes if I have to.
I am bringing my plate. I will leave it outside the door, but this is coming with me. And you might, anybody paying enough attention will see extra meat heaped on the plate from untouched.
Can I make a check to see if I notice that the chef is not part of the room?
Sure. Yeah, let's do it.
I'll do investigation for that. That feels, I guess, probably perception, but they're close.
Perception, yeah.
Well, either way, it's a 27. So I think, I think I
you
figured
realize
that
that the chef is, he was still preparing dinner and stuff when that happened.
out.
Or the moose.
Justicar Wargames, I can't help but notice that the chef is not present. So I think if you're going to make sure make sure he knows not to leave and that we should talk to him.
I'll go have a word with him. Thank you for letting me know.
And I look really proud of myself, and then
You give Agathar this look like.
well, looks like somebody knows a thing about solving crimes, and then I continue on.
All right, so you head up to his bedroom. So you kind of enter the door, and you can see that this room is an eccentric collection of gaudy decorations on the walls and floors, and there's colorful rugs, depicting strange monsters, and flags and banners draped across the wall. On a nearby table, amid a stack of books, is a marble bust of the Archmage,
Ooh.
atop which his purple mage hat sits. And then, unlike most of the house that's illuminated with candlelight, this room is illuminated with 1,000 tiny points of light, like stars set into the ceiling. There's a large 4-post bed with deep purple fabric forming a canopy above the mattress. And then, of course, there is the bloody corpse of the Archmage Ulrich lying on the floor.
Okay.
I suppose you all will want to investigate the scene before I speak with the dead.
Ooh, yes. Because I
Yes,
think we're gonna want to
indeed.
look at. Well, okay. I will look. How wet is the blood?
I mean, it just happened. It's still very wet.
So it's okay. So he's freshly dead.
Yes, he's
Yeah, I was
pining
gonna
for the
say,
fjords.
Can we do a medicine a medicine check or an investigation check to get a sense of the nature of the source of the
Yeah,
blood
let's do a
without
medicine
touching
check
the
on
body?
that. Let's do it.
All right, so
He's
go
new dead, not
ahead.
old dead.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I got a natural one.
Oh,
So
jeez.
for a
You flop him over, and all you can tell is that he's definitely dead.
I didn't do much better.
Oh, no.
we should have had one of us give the other advantage.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Strand, yeah, maybe, yeah.
Okay, well, Stran, and I'll leave this for you however you
Let
want
me
to
see
share.
how I do, just to see.
Yeah, go ahead.
I did pretty good.
There you go. So
Okay.
while you guys flop over the body, and you
Careful,
look at
careful.
it, go, yeah, that's a corpse. Holy moly! Stran and Lorelei can see that it's obviously massive pool of blood, but you also see that there's nearby is a broken wand, piles of letters, and a letter opener, all covered in blood on the
Is
ground.
it as nice as my letter opener?
Not really.
Okay.
Yours is very special. Yours is custom built.
And also not covered in blood for one.
Also,
thing.
that's
not
that's
covered
true
in blood.
too.
I mean, it used to be because it was used to slay my
That's true.
great grandfather.
Yeah, there you
Point.
go. But then you can see on
New
closer
gorgeous.
inspection that he has a single massive stab wound through his heart, and his robes are soaked through with the blood as well.
Well, that'll do it for sure. No weapon in sight though, under the body.
Or it the
Mm-mm.
letter opener?
I mean, you see a letter opener. That's the closest thing you see
But is it
Is it bloodied?
It's covered in blood along with the letters and basically everything else around him.
I'm
Does
gonna
it,
start looking at the letters to see if I can read them while they're looking at their things.
Good question.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I
I
think I
was
cut
gonna-
off Corinne. I think Corinne was doing something. I cut her.
I was gonna. Oh no, I was just wondering. You say the stab wound is pretty big? Is it bigger than, or can we even tell?
yeah, I was going to ask if Lorelei with the medicine check of 24 would be able to
You
tell.
know what?
like,
I'll give it
it
that.
was
It
made
definitely
with-
looks bigger than a letter opener.
Okay.
Okay. I will convey that information.
So it was a bread box. Got it.
The the letter opener is a red herring, or it's a red letter opener currently. But
Exactly. Yes.
Is the room sufficiently lit? I know you mentioned there's like twinkling
Yeah,
stars.
it's pretty well lit. Yeah, it's
Okay.
just not candlelight. It's just
Okay.
tons of pinpoint lights that are still lighting it up as well as a candle would.
I'm gonna pick up the letter opener, and before we speak with the dead, I am going to attempt. I didn't prepare speak with dead. I did prepare a spell called speak with inanimate object,
Oh, interesting.
which is from Kobold Press's Deep Magic, and it says. I can simply touch an object, and it lasts for 1 minute. I awaken a spirit that resides inside an inanimate object, such as a rock, sign, table, etc., and can ask it questions. The spirit is neutral toward you unless you've done something to harm or help it. The spirit can give you information about its environment and about things it might have observed. Obviously, it says with its limited senses.
So everything that a letter opener can detect. Got it.
Yeah, so essentially trying to get would this thing have detected because I haven't cast a spell
Yeah.
before, like raised voices or vibrations of something like that. I get it's not going to act like a surveillance camera, but yeah, I'll try to
Okay.
I'll imbue my trunk with a little bit of my clerical magic and cast speak with inanimate object on it.
Where am I?
No, calm down now,
Who am I?
young spirit.
Why am I?
This thing's tighter than a gnome's tool belt in a thunderstorm. Let's just take just calm down, little fella there. You are a letter opener. I believe you've probably opened many letters in your
yes.
day.
Yes, I have.
You also just happen to be covered in blood and viscera
God.
at this moment. Is there anything that you might be able to tell me in, I don't know, the next 30 or 45 seconds about what might have happened that led to you being found on the floor in such a state of disarray?
Oh, well, I remember I was
Ooh.
sitting on the desk, and then I was picked up, and then I was put in some paper to open some paper, and then I heard a slam. I heard some sort of sound, maybe a voice, and then I heard a gasp, and then I heard a ka-thunk, and then I hit the floor, and then I was, I guess, covered in blood.
All right, little fella. Well, that I really do appreciate that, and do wish you well in your future letter openings. We'll be
Thank
sure to get
you.
you cleaned up after this.
I appreciate it. I don't want to rust. Don't let me rust.
And I'll gingerly set the soon to be inanimate once more letter opener down, and just share with the others. Yeah, all right.
It's so dark.
Well, don't worry. He'll stop existing in the morning anyway. So
Well, yeah, it would appear that whoever committed the crime found the Archmage whilst he was perusing his letters. So, Lorelei, if you find anything in there that someone might not want the Archmage to read, that might lead us to some conclusions.
yeah, can I have been reading the letters the whole time this was happening?
Yeah,
That
sure.
makes
Let me
sense
see.
while he was. So, well, I got a 16 on my investigation of the letters.
Okay. When you're looking through those letters, it really just seems like just mail. Confirmations of the visit that he hadn't read, and receipts for the stuff he bought in town, those kinds of things. Nothing
Okay.
too provocative.
Okay. I guess that makes sense. The killer probably wouldn't be like, let me leave the letter that incriminates me right next to the dead body.
Right, there you go.
All right, and I rub my hands together, step over, and I kind of give him a little nudge to the rib, like a little nudge to the ribs, and I say, "Get up! You've ruined an exquisite dinner."
And yeah, he doesn't move.
It was worth a shot.
Right. Although I cast Speak with Dead when I do that.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, what? I guess I can show you what he looks like, huh?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. So Gimli and Gandalf had a baby. Got it.
All right, let's clear all this up. Who killed you?
I don't know.
Well, I'm stumped. Anyone else?
Well, sure, might I say, can you think of? Are there any people who were invited to Agathar's celebration today who might have cause to kill you?
Yes.
Okay.
We get 5 questions, right? That's 2.
Yeah,
That
Well,
is
that's
correct.
two.
All right.
Would you mind telling us who might want to hurt you?
No.
Okay, yeah, we just
I
wasted.
knew
Yeah.
it. I knew it
Yes.
was going to happen.
Let's leave. Lorelai, do you have a? Would you like to take a go at one of the 2 remaining questions that we have? That question is directed at this one, not at you, Mr. Corpse.
Would you please describe the murder weapon in detail?
I didn't see it.
Okay. All right. Well, we
We have
got
one more.
The names.
who
Names.
is a person among those invited that would have cause to
The
murder you?
mayor.
All right, we got one thing.
Yes.
We should have said, "Will please provide us a comprehensive list of all the people here." He might have just said all of them.
Yeah, that's what I kind of assumed was going to happen.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why. That's
There's nothing more
guys
fun as a
have
DM,
thought
though.
about it.
Yeah.
There's nothing more fun as a DM than shivving players with things like speak with
Yeah.
dead. It's just such a
Right.
fun.
Yeah,
well, that-
Corinne's question was exactly what I was waiting for.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, well, no, that's why I was asking earlier about the mayor, because my thought was a local authority figure might not love a very powerful archmage in town, like an unelected figure
Mhm.
wielding as much influence. So,
Mhm.
all right. Is there any other? I know. So we found the blood, we found the murder. We know that it was not the letter opener itself, but it's definitely a stab wound. Is it? You said from the back into the heart, or from the front, like they came from?
Like they came
behind?
from the heart, I suppose.
Okay.
From the front.
Yeah.
It didn't really
Okay.
specify, but with a 24, I'll tell you, it definitely looks like it came from the front, but
Yeah, so someone probably came up behind him, and because he said he didn't see it.
Exactly.
All right, is there anything else in the room that we can? Let me do a quick little.
I'll do an investigation check along with you, or what?
Yeah, I think I'm going to do a detect magic.
Ooh,
Okay.
that's
I
a
want
good one.
I want to cast detect magic and just go ahead and see. I'll take out my holy symbol, and my eyes will glow, and I will I'll use a first level spell. I don't want to waste 10 minutes in
There you
here because the scene might. So I can
there
sense
are
the
more
presence
rooms.
of magic. Right. So I have 10 minutes. I can sense the presence of magic within 30 feet. So obviously I know that there's going to be there will probably be magic here. Anything near the body or anything around that
So
looks to be
yeah,
of concern.
the room is blinding as far as that goes, right? But what you do pick up on is that you can sense the remnants of what were wards and traps that led into the room, but appear to have been dispelled.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Did Lorelai's investigation of the letters reveal anything of beyond mundane details, just like
No, unfortunately not.
correspondences? Okay. No, that's good. That's one less clue to have to worry about. So
Yeah,
it's not okay. I didn't know if it was like, and I leave everything to Agathar in the, okay.
If I died, it was definitely this person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more rooms to investigate. So I'll turn to the others.
Do you want to do maybe a perception or investigate just generally on the room?
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
going to ask. Is if like now that we've looked at the body, if we want to kind of split up around the room, and I will on the young Lorelai, I'll cast guidance.
Oh, thank you.
So she'll get a plus D4 on her next investigation or next check.
All right, so I'll do what Dan said and kind of look around the room itself, and then they roll the guidance. It's a D4, right? Okay.
Yep.
So right now I have. It won't roll.
I think you have to hit the
I rolled 2 by
button.
accident. So
Oh, that's
sorry,
fine.
let me-
So you could use the first one, I guess.
Yeah, I'll do that. So it would have been a dirty 20, but now it's 22. I guess I could have just rolled.
And it looks like Corinne got a 19.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you're looking around the room, on his
Ooh, I'm looking for like
Good.
Like if there's any like dust, anything like looks like it's been picked up from that might be missing from like a dust, like a footprint. Not like a footprint, but like the footprint of shut up. An item.
I mean, no more dust than you would expect just generally in a lived-in space. He's working here quite often.
When he's got a
this is his room, his laboratory, is everything. He's always in this room. But what you guys do see is there is a safe and there is a rosewood box on his desk.
I'm gonna check the box.
Ooh, perhaps there was something incriminating in that safe, and I go to check it out.
Well, in the rosewood box, you open it up and you see a ring
I will look at it.
and a letter.
Oh, interesting. I will check the ring to see if it looks like it's something that might be magical. Like I don't have detect magic, but I could do like Arcana to see.
Well,
like,
you said it's 10 minutes, right? When you look at that ring, it does not appear magical.
Okay, who was using that?
I was, yeah.
Okay,
so
I hold it up and go, hey, is this glowing?
No, it just appears to be mundane in nature.
What about this letter? And I hold that up too. Oh, cool. Okay, I'm gonna start looking at the letter while
Not
you
the
do your-
letter of Vecna.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will while Strand looks at the safe, I'll look at the letter.
All right,
I
Strand.
straight up go into trying to crack this safe with a sleight of hand.
Okay.
Oof. I'm also going to check off one of my Dark One's own luck to try to buff that a little
How
bit.
big is the safe?
It's not very big. It's just a smaller safe. It's probably also sitting on the desk. Like
I wouldn't be able to fit
Oh
inside it.
my
right now.
gosh. 9.
you are spinning whatever things are on that. You don't even know what it uses to open it.
Okay,
This is
so I
where
have
we-
this chalk of doors.
Okay.
A stick of chalk with a sparkle of rainbow allows the user to cast Misty Step as an action by drawing a chalk door on the wall. That doesn't allow me to. It's not like a portable hole like in Roger Rabbit.
No, you'd have
right?
to be able to step through because you're technically
Okay.
misty stepping. So if you did
Okay.
that, you'd probably lose your torso.
Yeah, and I don't want that.
Do
I
we
rather like my torso. That's where my organs live.
do we really want to know what's inside this safe? Like, is that a big thing for us?
I
It's a
think
Could
big
so.
be,
thing
but-
for one of us.
All right, I'm gonna walk up to the safe and I'm gonna knock on the front of it.
Okay.
And cast
Ooh.
knock to open it.
Nice.
Okay. Opens it up and you see a document. That's all that's in
Ooh.
there.
Okay, I'm gonna look at
My
the document and the
dear
letter that I have.
Lorelai, with
Yeah.
such fantastic.
Yeah, before Lorelai reaches in, I'll
talent.
just do a quick look with the detect magic. Is there a glyph of warding or anything on inside?
No.
Okay.
Well, it's been dispelled too.
Okay,
I walk
All the
up and I'm like-
they did. Whoever dispelled traps, like dispelled all traps.
Oh, that's okay. That makes sense.
When you say when you're just for the fun of it, Strand, when you are trying to do it and you can't get it open, I walk up and I say, sometimes it's good to embrace the subtle things in life, and then I knock on the side of the safe, and then it opens up. It's loud, by the way, so people downstairs will have heard me do this.
Okay.
But yeah,
Very Fonzie style.
yeah. No, it says when you cast a spell, loud knock audible up to 300 feet away emanates from the target.
Yeah, I'm
So-
just picturing
dang.
like Fonzie with the jukebox.
Yeah.
Boom, and it.
I think I do. I think I go boom. Yeah, like I'm very like I definitely milk it. Like I'm definitely like showing off.
Oh, absolutely.
With
So,
talents
yeah.
such as those, you and I could start quite the enterprising side gigs
I'm literally a detective.
of detecting things, of course.
Yeah.
Let us take a look at this document.
Yeah.
Four lines.
Also, did I see it on the letter that I was reading before we did this? The letter that was in the box.
Yeah,
Okay.
what does the letter say?
The letter was a love letter written by Ulick to Lady Gwendolyn, and you can tell that this was written a long time ago,
Okay.
which implies to you that that was probably an engagement ring.
Mm.
All right. And then what's in the safe?
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
It says, "The will of the Archmage Ulick of Atwin Tower. To the town of Mornstead, with the exception of the objects contained within the rosewood trunk, I leave all my possessions of monetary value. They may sell my spellbook Swans and Tower to repay my debt to the people.
Oh
The
shit.
contents of the rosewood box are left to Lady Gwendolyn of Grandland Manor, and they belong to her to do with as she wishes. No one but for her shall inspect the contents. I leave it to the ever-faithful Bendel to deliver it to her. Signed, Archmage Ulick."
Put it back. Put it back. Put it back.
So he said he's leaving everything to the town, like
Correct.
the township
Yes.
of. Okay.
To pay for his
The
debts.
mayor is in charge
Yeah.
of.
His debts. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that certainly does point towards the mayor. The mayor wanted that money sooner than later. And this is maybe getting a little too in the weeds. Does the will have like any witnesses named, or like it's
No.
just signed the mayor?
Just
Okay.
signed
Or not the
by
mayor.
Archmage
Sorry,
Ulick, yep.
Archmage.
That's it.
Okay.
But
So okay.
It also could be Agathar because maybe he's upset that he's not getting any inheritance from his mentor. So perhaps that could be it. I don't know, but
Yeah, I think certainly the fact that someone was able to dispel the magic is concerning, but also the dispelling of the magic makes me think that Agathar was involved. The mayor, obviously because of the town, but then also the Justicar was the last one to arrive,
That's what I'm thinking.
and pretty quickly like agreed with Colonel Relish about like locking everything down, and like I can't tell if he was like leaning a little too much.
I will
into
remind
it,
you
but-
that you heard the bell of the entrance ring with Bendel, and he led them straight into the dining room, and you never saw him leave since.
Okay, but there's also
And
the
then there was
fact that
he had like just been brought in. Bendel went to get Ulrich, and that's when Bendel came in saying he was dead.
Okay, no, that is good to know. I didn't connect the dots on that.
Yeah, because I was thinking Justicar too, because if this guy just died and we were all downstairs at the time, like
But I think Dan's saying that Justicar was led from the front door to
Right.
where we were. Then Bendel left to go get the Archmage. So it's
All
possible
those,
Justicar.
remember, all those other guests were there before you arrived. So
Yeah.
so
Yep.
okay. So Dan, when you said that he just died, was it like
I
he
know,
just?
yeah, like within the last couple hours. It hasn't been like
Okay,
a day or
I
anything.
was thinking like within the last 5 minutes.
Oh no.
And I was like, okay.
so he may have already been dead when we got here.
Yeah.
That's true.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
We could write a fake will, and I get the little Grinch smile, but we read it to the group and check reactions and see if it's not what they anticipated.
It's not a bad idea, Professor.
Oh,
Colonel,
shoot.
sorry.
What? No. Grand
Ambassador.
Thank you. Jeez, I
Yes.
can't believe I forgot that.
Ambassador, I apologize.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that's certainly a good interrogation tactic. I do have a zone of truth prepared for the interrogations, but it cannot compel someone to provide to answer. It will simply let us know if someone is lying.
Well, that is still valuable information. I've used that spell myself.
Yes. I will say I have used it in the past, and it can create folks may be less willing to talk with us. So I do tend to try to use it as a bit of a last resort. So. That being said, we have plenty of other rooms to check in on. We have the laboratory, the library, the trophy room, the parlor. Is that where we all were?
I thought we were in the library. I thought laboratory is where we are currently.
I think we're in the bedroom suite.
Oh, I thought the laboratory was his murder room. Okay.
Oh wait, did I get that wrong, Dan? Where was the? Are we in the bedroom
You're
suite
in
or
his
the
bedroom.
laboratory? Okay.
So I guess I lied when he said he did his experiments there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what
Liar.
I was going off of. I thought you were saying he never leaves. He's almost always in this room.
All right. I feel like we can probably maybe skip the foyer for now. Not saying that any of the rooms are not important, but like the ones that jump out to me, probably the kitchen because the chef was not in the room with us, so we don't know what he was up to. And then I'm interested in both the laboratory and the library.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm into those.
Yeah.
So two things. I whip up just like a fake will. We can determine kind of at the climax who we decide to give that will to, if that's okay with Dan.
Okay. Why don't you roll a deception and we'll use that as the basis for the quality of your will.
Excellent. Deception.
I'll give you guidance.
Oh, heck yeah. Here
Guide his hand.
Yeah.
Right.
And hold on. I get to add guidance.
Okay, let's do it.
So yeah, just a D4.
All right, so 27.
I would say with a 27, you even get the signature correct.
Nice.
I wouldn't even tell this one's fake, and I'm very good at this.
So do we want to say that you've made everything in the will except for the very last part where you say who it is, and maybe like right before we go into interrogate, based on the clues, we can be like, all right, let's say,
oh yeah,
we're gonna leave it. He's gonna leave everything to Lady Gwendolyn and see how Agatha or whoever it is, Bendel.
Yep.
I think anyone that we pick, it would be that isn't the town. Could I think you're right? It could elicit some sort of reaction.
Or maybe just like put a fake name on there that like is none of them.
To my distant nephew.
Yeah, my distant nephew.
To Frodo.
Yeah.
Also,
Screw over those Saxel Bagginses.
As we step out, I'd like to ask Bendel, my solid fellow, who all was staying in the guest rooms for this event?
We had let's see if it tells me.
Because that could be, I know people were here before, but if...
some of those rooms are being used for the help, but otherwise we didn't have any guests staying the night. This was just a dinner event.
Non-unionized, I hope.
Non-union.
Good. Cheaper help.
And just Karen's
Some people think you pay for quality. You get what you pay for.
I put my hand on Corinne's wrist as she's reaching for her dagger. It wouldn't be the first time Corinne killed a scab. And that I had to help cover up.
All right, where are we going, guys?
Before we go to other rooms, could we take just like a 2-3 minute break?
Yes.
Yeah, I could use it.
Yes, please.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it. All right, guys, we will be back. Remember, donations help the kitties and help us.
Yay.
And we're back. We got a couple clue donations, which is good because this 3-hour adventure is about to take 8.
Look,
So let me. So
can't
you
be
guys pick a room you want to check out, and I will look through and see what would be some good things I can throw your way while you
Basic.
decide.
Well, let's all agree. Let's not just like let me
Well,
say something ridiculous.
I think the laboratory makes a lot of sense because it'd be like where he's
Laboratory,
like
yeah.
spending a lot of his time. So
Yeah.
Laboratory it is.
Okay, you guys head to the laboratory, and it lies somewhere in the mix of workshop, alchemical research facility, studio. It's got flasks, scrolls, tools of all manner on shelves and tables, and you have like a biting chemical smell in the air, and it's
Yummy.
difficult to tell where it's coming from, and the room is just so cluttered. Open tomes and ongoing experiments are scattered throughout the room, and only about half of them are labeled.
Oh boy. This is
I
totally a
I
nightmare.
have about half a plate of food left with me in this room. No one told me not to bring it into this one.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to give you one of your clues.
Yay.
As you're kind of, you walk in the room and, you eyeball the open tomes and stuff. You actually see a 3-tome set detailing the basic nature of religious relics and some preliminary research, and it's filled with handwritten notes in the margins.
Ooh, schmexy.
I'm gonna go to those books and I'm gonna look through specifically looking for like the things that were claimed by Agathar in his travels to see if any of those seem like maybe he was making something up or he was hiding or something like that. But I'm gonna flip through it and see if any like pages like they've been earmarked recently or like that too.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Let's roll.
Does anyone want to give me guidance on this?
Yes, I will do so.
All right, so for the investigation, I got a nat 1, so it doesn't matter.
Dang.
You accidentally spill one of the alchemical agents on that book.
Oh shit.
I think I bump into the colonel who has the plate of food, and then or was it?
Strand,
The
right?
ambassador.
Sorry, you guys flipped on my screen, so I forgot. I was like used to the Yeah, I think I bump into Strand and I knock over something in the food, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. And yeah,
A whole rare piece of griffin meat just slops down onto it.
yeah. Sorry to the person who donated for that clue that I just ruined it.
Strand just gives a withering sigh.
Well, I mean, you got it from my plate anyway, so.
No, I took this one from Lady Gwendolyn's, thank you.
Oh, fair
I
enough.
mean, but there's 2 other tomes, right? This was a 3-parter.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
I back
bottles.
away. I put my hands up in the air and I back away.
I'd like-
Oh no, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to compare the handwriting to see if those notes are definitely Ulick's or Agathar's, since we have our fake will that looks exactly like it.
Okay.
I forgot that I have lucky and I could have re-rolled that. Oh well. We've already role played this happening, so.
I also have lucky. I'm going to re-roll that.
No, you can't.
I always
feel
forget
like
that I
you.
have it because I'm so used
Or-
to playing bad roles.
I
So
think the exact same. Oh, it was a little bit better. 10.
Yeah, it's a 10, and I'm gonna let you have that. It's not gonna be hard because you've got the paper, you've got
Yeah.
your copy of the paper, and it matches Ulick's handwriting in the margins there.
Okay.
It's talking about when you read through it, it talks about a where'd it go? Come back, I lost it. There it is. It talks about a relic called the God Shard.
History check.
Or religion.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something else. I was like, waiting for you to
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I'll let you do religion too if you want.
With that sitting silence.
I think we all thought you were like swallowing and like about to say like.
Well,
is
I
that
was
the God
reading and then
shard?
realized I'm not supposed to say the next part, so I stopped.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. We were all like, and
And on the edge of your seats.
God, I'm rolling good tonight.
I got a 16 for religion.
nice.
Okay, so with a 16, that you kind of recognize that as being a relic for a nature goddess of a druidic sect.
Okay.
It was
And-
the tree.
Since this is the first room we've been to since the bedroom, I think my detect magic would still be active because it lasts for 10 minutes. Is there anything magical before my spell wears out that I see in this room of note?
Good question.
imagine a lot.
I mean, you definitely just you see like magic from his experiments and stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Let's see here. I'm reading it. Yeah, but part of that, while you're doing that, you do stumble upon some lab notes, and you it says in the Grand Garden Temple of the South recovered a dark crystal. Must have been valuable as the priests were willing to sell their lives to protect it. Extensive research has been done on the crystal in an attempt to harvest its power. Unfortunately, nothing was able to extract before cracks began to form and it was reduced to a trivial trophy.
Okay. All right. So far, I mean, this is just typical magical experiment. There's nothing, at least
Just
there's nothing that
colonialism.
seems to point to, yeah, classic, Indiana Jones style. Okay. Anything else? Can we do like a general, I guess, is there anything else similar, like in a general search of the room that we see that you mentioned at the outset that we haven't asked about yet of note?
No.
Okay. All right. Are you guys thinking we move on from here,
Yeah,
or
probably.
Oh, one thing before you move on,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take my flute out. I'm gonna play a few notes on it, and over the course of that time, I'm gonna give each one of you bardic inspiration.
Nice.
Ooh.
It's a D8 at this level. I looked at my list like, why haven't I been using this thing? That like
That's-
it's very helpful for like.
I think my thought is if there's this an item called the God Shard and there's all these I'd like to go check out the trophy room if that's maybe where he's bringing these things. I know we mentioned the library, but I'm sort of want to like follow the. It almost sounds like that might be something of import, or else I don't know. Chekhov's God Shard.
I'm never upset to go to a library. So
Right?
Fair enough.
I also, thanks to the bardic inspiration, give Lorelai a look, and I'm like, we'll just cover this up. And I close the book onto the slab of roast griffin and put it back on the shelf.
Okay, wait, and just before we move on, sorry, I was saying we should go to the trophy room, but I'm also fine to go to the library instead if that's where you guys would
Oh,
prefer.
gotcha.
we could split up.
Yeah, do two. Yeah, how about
Equal time.
Lorelai, and Strand go to the library, and then
They're
Corinne and I
good
will go check
pairing,
out the
yeah.
trophy room.
I mean, Kieran
Yeah.
won't let you go by yourself anyway. So.
Yeah, of
It's
course.
true.
Yeah. Plus, the trophy room might need some serious dusting. So
That's,
It's very true.
yeah, so yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll split up.
Loading.
okay.
And we can cover more ground and kill some more time. Yeah. Or not kill time, but like speed up
Yep.
time. I mean,
Yeah,
All right.
opposite
So
of what
let's
I'm
go to the. We'll do the trophy room first.
sure.
Okay. So when the doors opened, an obnoxious glitter of gold gilding strikes your eyes. Marble plinths and pedestals ringed with gold display. Dozens of I read that wrong. Pedestals of gold display. Dozens of artifacts from years of adventuring. Wands, medals, crowns, skulls. The wall is adorned with mounts of a dozen strange horned and tusked creatures, and one particularly large fish skeleton. Each object is labeled with a small description of exactly where the trophy came from and how it was won.
Okay. And what are the trophies that we see in here?
Well-
Or if there's a ton, don't feel like you have to read them
No,
all. I don't know. What are the
there's,
most noticeable ones?
There's only important ones mentioned. So you go
Okay.
around the room, and There's one that definitely stands out to you. On the little placard, it says the God Shard.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
And on it says a crystal believed to have been gifted by a mighty nature goddess to mortals. It is, and it's missing from its pedestal.
oh, of course.
The brass inscription mentions the young archmage taking the temple by force, seizing the artifact, and subjecting it to great amounts of study and research for its divine properties. And then nearby, you see an amulet called the Amulet of Suggestion, which allows the bearer to cast suggestion once a day. A couple more objects, including a dagger called Spell Render.
Cool. And
Ooh.
I'm guessing. So wait, is the dagger there?
Yes.
Uh,
There's no one in the room
Okay.
to stop you from touching it, I'll tell you that much.
I want
well, I want to
This
ask
would have been
like, damn it,
Corinne
I'm not
like,
Christian.
if Corinne thinks that this dagger, I don't know why someone would put it back if that's the case, but if it looks like it could have been used, because I know we saw like, well, it was bigger than a letter opener.
yeah.
Why
'Cause
don't you give me a D20 roll?
Me?
Iron Tusk.
Oh,
That's a natural 20.
Oh,
nice.
All right. Well, what I'm going to grant you with that then is that your detect magic is just barely still happening. And what you can tell is that this is a magical dagger.
A magical dagger.
And what it does is that well, you'll have to do a Arcana to figure out what it does.
I have identify.
Of course.
I
there
choose
you
one
go.
object, and basically, if it's a magic item, you learn its properties and how to use them.
I hand the dagger over to Corinne.
Is it just me, or is did Twitch go shit itself? Because it's telling me the DNS address can't be reached. Or
It's
maybe-
working for me.
Okay, so something on my network. I'm not going to stress about it. All right. Cool. So yeah, I cast it's a 1 minute ritual.
Okay.
Um,
So she's sitting there going nom 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 nom.
yeah, and so yeah, I can learn its properties.
So
and how
while
to
she's
use
doing that,
them.
why don't you go ahead and do an Arcana for me, Iron Tusk.
Another natural
Jesus
20.
Christ.
Damn, dude,
Okay.
these got
So
Yeah, I
she's
had them
just
set
sitting
me up.
there humming. You learn. You look at it and you go, "Oh, I've heard of this guy." It allows you to cast counterspell and dispel magic once each per day. And counts as a +2 dagger if the target is capable of casting spells, and it automatically attunes to someone who has sworn vengeance against a magic user. And on top of that, you can tell that it looks drained.
Okay, because I can tell if it has any charges left.
There are none left.
Okay.
Okay. So
And
I
since
can
it's
speak
once
to
per
this.
day.
I can speak to this dagger.
Hmm.
Ooh, okay.
I could. Now it's a dagger, but so again, it might only know as much as letter opener. But I think, I think Corinne, that we have in fact found the murder weapon. It is imbued with a spell that would be powerful enough to dispel all the Archmage's wards.
And it doesn't have any charges left either. It's been used today.
Oh well, I think in that case, and I pull out, or I ask Corinne if she can pass me one of our evidence bags, and I gingerly place it in the exhibit bag
Mhm.
to bring with us. Yeah, I think this absolutely reeks of being the murder weapon.
Absolutely.
And the God Shard, did you say it was still there?
It was stolen. It was
Okay,
stolen.
the
gone.
God Shard is missing,
Uh,
and then okay, but as far as we know, the God Shard was useless. He said it was cracked, but he
Well-
also said he killed the priests to take it from them.
Mhm.
So if anyone
It
here
is a
has any
religious
connection,
relic. Yeah.
yeah, to that cult, then or that religious sect, we should investigate. All right, well, yeah, let's. Unless Corinne has any other things, I'm happy to flash over to
Yeah.
Riley and Josh to see what they've found.
no, we're good.
And
We're
remind
doing
where
it.
you went, the library?
We did a
Yes.
room in 10 minutes.
Hell yeah.
Good job. So proud.
When you cut out the people who were doing riffing the whole time, it turns out you can get things done.
Prepare for our room to take up the rest of the time.
Yeah.
I'd like to know the title of every book in this library. Yeah.
Starting with A.
Are there any romance novels that I'm too young to be reading yet?
Argonian Maid, comma, the Lusty. What are we rolling for?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're just
I think
looking?
we're investigating. We're investigating the
Got
library.
it. Got it.
Yep.
Well, let me read you the description first.
It was a good timing to hear Argonian Maid, Lusty, and then a dice roll.
Yeah. Do you understand the contents of this book? A musty smell
It
pervades
was
from this
Strand that
room,
read it.
where every
Taking
wall
notes.
is lined floor to ceiling with bookshelves that are stuffed with all manner of research tomes, historical accounts, diaries, and even loose notes. There are additional rows of stacks containing newer books, including a particularly large collection of books, all authored by Ulick himself, on the nature of planar travel, as well as personal notes, recounts, receipts of trade, contracts, and dissertations.
All right. I'm
So what
investigating.
you do see, one of the books you see looks like perhaps a ledger, and then another one looks like a diary, perhaps.
I'm gonna look at the diary.
I'll look at the ledger, heading ahead for money-related things.
Don't forget to get that
And-
bardic inspiration if you need to use it.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely.
Oh, you
adding
used it
that.
already.
Well,
Oh,
look, before you get too far with that, when you go to open it, you realize it's locked.
Oh,
One of the little
well,
locked books. He doesn't want
you
people just
slide
going
a-
into his
here
ledgers.
you slide a hand on that bad boy then.
If you need me to do it, just let me know. Okay, you don't. You don't this time.
21.
Okay. You manage to get the lock open, and in it you see it lists a detailed listing of all debts owed by the Archmage, the most significant of which is to the city, mostly unpaid taxes for material components and for components for his complicated spells.
Hmm.
So you kind of figured that one out from the will.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Still
you got the
worth-
diary?
Yeah, and I assume I'm gonna look more towards the end in the most recent entries, like maybe like the last week or so, to see if anything like, especially the last couple of days.
Okay.
16.
nice.
You see a series of handwritten tomes that include information about his journeys, including several years of adventures in an underwater city, a temple he
Ooh.
attacked and looted, and a large castle he explored. He expresses a rare bit of remorse for his attack on the temple, especially since he couldn't end up harvesting the power of that relic he took.
Does it say what religion the temple is?
Nothing explicit, but from one of your previous things, it was a nature goddess.
Okay.
For a
The
Oh, it was
druidic
like
sect.
a druidic
Well,
nature lady.
Did
Well, we don't know that because
Sorry,
wait, no,
go
we
ahead.
did. The God Shard thing was in the room we were in. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Between that and
Okay.
the religion check that we did,
Okay.
you kind of figured all that out.
Cool. I thought that happened in the room. We weren't in the trophy room, so the two of us
Got
wouldn't
it.
know. when
Got
we were
it,
in the
got
trophy
it.
room.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm happy for us to meet up. Maybe do we want to say we met like we were going to go to the kitchen after this? Because I know I wanted to talk
Yeah.
to the chef. So can we say that maybe when they're done in the library, we all coalesce like outside the kitchen?
I
Yeah.
think it's smart.
Can we do maybe like one last investigation in the library to make sure we're not missing anything in here before we move on? So like maybe we can do like a like I can look for anything that seems out of like books that might seem like they were like someone pulled something out or something like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Does
I don't want to like linger the entire thing here, but I feel like I don't want to like skip out when we're already searching.
Yeah.
13's what I got for that.
Yeah, you don't really see anything else.
Okay. Yeah, let's see if they found anything.
yes?
I mean, I'm
let's
sure they
get
didn't
out
find
this-
something like the murder weapon or anything like that. That would be crazy.
That'd be crazy. That never happens.
Yeah.
All
So we
right.
meet up with you guys. I guess in the kitchen. You said.
In the
Just
kitchen or
outside
outside?
of
the
the-
kitchen?
Right outside. I think
Sure.
like, before we go in, I think maybe I'll cast silence on the like hallway around us, like or the
Ooh,
door, so
cool.
like nothing we say can go through the
Can
dome.
be used against you. Got it.
Yeah. And yes, I'm quite certain that we found the murder weapon in the the trophy room because it allows one to dispel magic, but perhaps not. I won't say more alarming, but interestingly, the God Shard appears to be missing. And if the notes that we read were true, then it has no inherent magical value, but it would have important religious value to the cult, I keep calling them cult, to the religious sect that it was stolen from. So if there is anyone here with a nature-oriented religion or upbringing, we might want to search.
We do have a guy here who's literally a tree.
That is true. We didn't ask about his origin, did we? We don't know what his.
I think he grew. But I will say that in the diary of the deceased, I did find that he seemed to have regrets for the way things behaved at the goddess's realm, in her what he did to that group. So if it is somebody who is from that group, perhaps this was a revenge killing, or this was like coming back.
Yeah,
like your sins kind of have to haunt you,
right? And for them to the reason I don't think that it was any sort of just that wealth was the motive is this is a mighty powerful weapon. If they were only here for wealth, they could have just kept this as well, but they put it back.
Right.
But they took this shard. So I think that when we go into question, let's just keep that in mind and go in and see if we can check the kitchen out and narrow things down a bit further.
Yeah, if the God Shard was important to her particularly, that feels like there might be a connection between the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You enter the kitchen and you see the chef. He's working on the mousse. He started making it all pretty, doing little spirals, and he's got the whipped cream around. It's definitely the kind of delicacy you would get at a high-end place. Yeah.
So he's still making desserts after the murder has taken place.
It's his job, man. He may not be union, but he's dedicated.
We do got to get these people unionized,
right? I'm sure I've got a brochure.
Oh yeah, I hope you're just leaving pamphlets everywhere.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like my union rep's business, or
sorry to interrupt you.
He takes out his earbuds. Sorry, I didn't hear you enter.
We didn't have a chance to introduce ourselves before everything happened. You must be the one who was providing us with the fine hors d'oeuvres we were enjoying earlier.
Oh yeah, he wipes his hands off on his apron and he just sticks it out for you.
Yeah, it's an honor to meet you. I'm Colonel Ulysses Iron Tusk Relish of the Beholders, and I go through. I introduce everyone. I hope that you don't mind us imposing on you here, but we there's no person or room that we can leave out of our investigation. So
no, I understand.
Do you mind if we take a look around? Perhaps.
I have at it. Just don't touch the moose. It's not quite set yet.
How long will it be?
Probably at least another 20 minutes.
Okay.
My sir, if you have not heard, there's been a murder in this tower, and I demand I look at one of those to ensure nothing underhanded has been going on in this kitchen.
Yeah, that's a persuade for sure.
I'm going to burn one of my Dark One's blessings for that also. I missed what the last one was. 14.
All right, with a 14, he's like, all right, but don't you take any out. You can just look at them. And then...
are there peanuts in them?
So he turns to look at Lorelei while you reach down and do whatever you're doing with the moose. So
eat one.
You take one? Well, you try to, but he wasn't lying about it needing to set, and it just drips all down the front.
And the evidence is clear when he turns back around like a child eating a chocolate ice cream cone.
Quick!
What are you doing? I told you not to touch him.
Maybe you can go back out to that platform we came in on, and that will clean your shirt off.
Oh yeah, the prestidigitation. Okay.
You had questions. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I caught your name, Chef.
Chef.
Sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
Chef
on the screen.
Scherer.
Share. Do you know anyone who might have qualms with the Archmage? You're his chef. I imagine you probably work see him day in and day out.
Every day, yep. I make his breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah. Is he a fair employer?
I mean, he's fair, but he does have particular tastes.
Let's see. And if you don't mind me asking, how long have you been in the employ of the Archmage?
That's a great question. Let me look here.
Let me think about it for a minute.
Let me ponder. I got to count.
Let me look at my pay stubs.
Sure. And to be clear, Dan, I'm mainly just wondering: was he just hired the other?
No, he's
this week, or
he's been here for quite a while.
Okay. I think I'm probably looking around. I mean, I guess we already know what the murder weapon is. So, but I'll still poke around. I don't want to raise an alarm, Chef, but it does appear that the mayor may have been the victim of some sort of violent attack. And I see you have many knives and instruments in here. Have any gone missing by chance? The killer could have come in
He
here.
looks at it, and they're all in their place. Doesn't look like there's any gaps. It's like, no, it looks like they're all there.
Okay. Just making sure
Just
that the dagger
for
wasn't
clarification, not the mayor, the Archmage.
Yeah,
right?
sorry.
I'm making sure. I was like, wait, did I miss something? Okay.
No. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I'll defer to the others in the group to see if anyone has any questions for him or wants to look around. I don't want to.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do a general perception check on the kitchen
I'll cast guidance.
with a nat 20.
Oh,
Hey!
I'm gonna add that guidance anyway.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna do
4.
go do your thing first, and then I'll do a check as well.
A 1.
Do you want to use
20.
bardic inspiration?
And
you're
my
already-
dark one's own luck. We'll
Yeah.
just stack it all.
Yeah. So one of the things that calls out is the knife rack, and you notice that it's
Knife
all
rack.
full up there. Yep. You also, you see a list of safe recipes on it, and it says, stop. On the top of it, it says, stop. Doing weird things. This is what you're allowed to make, and it has a list.
Kind of rude.
Also, I'd never read you the description when you entered the kitchen. It's a mess of a kitchen dominated by a large central hearth with multiple basins, tables, and ice boxes. There's a dozen spectral hands floating about, cutting vegetables, preparing dishes, scrubbing plates and cutlery.
Okay. That's cool. I was going to say, is he doing this all himself, but he has magical. Okay. Sorry, go ahead, Riley. Looks like you had a question.
No, this is such a off the wall thing, but he
Mhm.
gave a list of things he's allowed to cook.
Uh-huh.
Are those all the things that are serving tonight? Are those all on that list?
Yes.
Okay, because I was like, oh, if he's cooking something he knows he's not allowed to make, that means he knows that the guy won't be there, which was like such a
Ooh.
wild stab in the dark, but it was just like a trap.
I mean, some criminals probably that dumb.
Or it'd be like, no one else, unless Charlie Cale shows up and says bullshit, she might not know that this is a fake thing. So yeah. Cool, okay.
Okay. All right. So with the natural 20 though, it doesn't sound like there's any other significant clues in here, right?
No.
Okay.
Let me think here if I want to give you something, because I think I still owe you another clue.
One more clue.
One more clue.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that he has a vine tattoo around his bicep.
Oh, interesting.
Ooh.
Okay, that's big.
Okay.
The guy loves short video things on the internet. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
He's all about
Oh, they were roommates.
Short form entertainment. Hey,
Yeah.
hey,
They were
Maybe a
roommates.
He's a
tattoo
dwarf.
of that wasn't so good. Doesn't seem to have
Oh, geez.
lasted.
Okay,
The
so
tattoo lasted longer than Vine did.
so
Oh.
okay, I will definitely, I think do I recognize, or no, I guess it wouldn't be me.
I nudge the colonel and
Yeah,
nod towards the.
did Lorelei in the book that she read, was the symbol of that druidic goddess, was it illustrated anywhere or mentioned?
So the one that I read in the library, I ruined. But what about in the
Oh,
in
right.
the diary, Dan? Did I get anything in the diary? What was the name of the goddess?
There wasn't really a
I don't think
name.
we
It just
got
said
one. I think it was like
a
a
nature.
goddess.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was just
Oh,
a journal. He didn't have any drawings in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
I have an idea. I think on the way out. Well, I'll wait till everyone's ready to go.
Yeah,
Or-
do your thing. I think I
Okay.
have an idea, but I want to let you do your thing first.
All right.
Are
I
we
think I
gonna
want to.
Columbo him?
I want to go
One
over
more
to
thing.
Riley. I want to go over to Riley and like while we're maybe like
Lorelai,
over
but yeah.
Lorelai,
Lorelai.
excuse me, over in the corner, and maybe kind of like whisper to her, Dan, while he's like maybe resuming like that.
Yeah, he's busy
that-
yelling at
Yeah.
a strand for his chocolate.
Yes. That detect thoughts trick you did earlier, Lorelai. Are you able to do it again?
We are on the same page. Yes, I will
All
kick
right.
that on.
So I want Lorelai to kick that on, and on our way out, I want to turn and say, "Oh, Chef Scherer,
Yes.
this is quite very silly. Probably not relevant to the investigation at all. But if you happen to see, we noticed in the trophy room that there's something called a god shard was missing, and so if it happens to come up, you see it, around. If you wouldn't mind just bringing it to our attention." I don't think it's very important, just some sort of trinket from a religious sect. And I just
Right.
want to speak in a very sort of like flippant manner about it as I turn to leave.
You'll be the first to know.
All
What is
right.
he thinking when he hears this?
He was definitely agitated, and he was. You could definitely tell that he did not. He's hoping that you don't look in the employee quarters.
Okay.
All right.
I immediately tell the colonel that we're going
Oh,
to the employee
Colonel!
quarters. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
think as soon as
don't
we-
say anything like that. I just start walking in that direction.
Yeah, and as soon as we leave the kitchen,
Uh-huh.
I think I'll like go. We'll try to find another place for us to go and chat, and I'll catch up Corinne and
Mhm.
Strand with just sort of Lorelai and I's suspicion.
I run off to the doormat real quick, just minor sidetrack. Does it?
Oh.
Clean up.
As you're
Yeah.
there,
Oh.
you see Orgrave is still like doing his ritual, getting it going. The door is still
Yeah.
glowing.
So
Okay, does
I'm
the-
gonna send my
does the
cat
mat still
to
work?
watch the chef.
Okay.
Ooh.
oh yeah, does the mat clean off
My chocolatey
Strands?
It does. It
chocolatey-
cleans his
okay,
chocolate.
cool.
Probably cleaned off the perpetrator too.
Because the
Oh.
blade was perfectly clean.
Oh, that's really interesting.
How far? I guess you probably don't have a map, Dan. Does it seem feasible that someone could get from the chamber, from the bed suite to this doormat to the trophy room without it being like an without having to go through the foyer where we all were or the parlor room?
Yes, it seems possible.
I love how Corinne's thinking like, how would I clean a murder weapon?
And like literally, like if you hadn't spilled the moose on yourself and we thought about it again, that may have never come back up. It's
Never.
wild.
Yeah.
D&D is the greatest game that ever existed.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think Lorelai says we're going to the quarters because she's going to
Yes.
draw attention to it. She just starts walking that way, and as we're walking that way, you see Keen, her cat, go back and like kind of like towards the kitchen and is kind of like keeping an eye on the chef.
Yeah, and to save us time, I think I won't RP it, but I will catch up, speaking in a hushed tone, Corinne and Strand on like the God Shard and how like we noticed, because Strand noticed the symbol, sort of we're thinking that there may be something going on, like there may be more to the chef
Perfect.
than meets the eyes. Yeah, let's go check out those quarters.
Yeah,
And
right.
Much like the charlatan he is, he takes the idea for the cleaning of his own.
Yeah.
All right, so you go to, as I said, it's like the guest room areas where the employees are staying. And there are a total of 8 bedrooms for the staff and guests. And as a reminder, it's Agathar, Bendel, Shearer, and 5 guest rooms. Agathar's is full of research, but otherwise it's kind of Spartan. Bendel's is spotless and very simple. And Shearer's is just full of dirty dishes and cups from leftovers. And then the rest of the rooms, they're ready, but since no one was staying, it's really kind of bland.
I want to investigate shearers more. I want to see if I can find something else in here. And also, I'm like, wow, for a chef, he is not concerned about health codes at all.
He doesn't wear gloves, but then again, he's using magic hands, so who knows?
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna investigate his room.
Let's do it.
Let's see here. I got a 19. I'm happy with that.
Dang.
Yeah, I was gonna say I use guidance, but you don't need it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll roll a d4 just to see, but yeah.
Yeah. Because I think at this point, like,
Okay, it's a dirty 20 now.
Yeah, there we go.
Hey.
I like Corinne is
Yeah.
like
So
this room is too much.
Well, if there's one thing I know how to navigate, it's a dirty room. So
so yeah,
I get in
just
trouble
starts...
all the time for not cleaning my own room back at the orphanage. I mean,
Starts
at the boarding school.
Yeah, there you go. She just starts grabbing stuff and throwing it, like to get behind things, just all over. Like there's like spaghetti going everywhere.
It's so gross.
Everything like
I
empty mugs.
believe
You can
the
actually
room.
see like some of those look like some of his experimental meals. There's a couple that are actually still probably from earlier that day or maybe last night. They're still in pretty
Like
decent
Stardew
condition.
Valley finding a chest full of food.
Exactly. Yeah,
Sitting
going
out in
through.
your lawn.
But then in one of the pots, you hear something jangle as you're sliding it to the side.
Okay,
So
I take
This is not
So
asking
you
for
take a
help.
look, and you find the God Shard.
Oh shit.
ding ding
Bum,
ding.
bum. I believe this is a shard of God.
Wow. I mean, yeah, that seemed okay. All right, so I think we pull out the evidence bag. I mean, look, I hate to jump to conclusions, but I have trouble imagining that. Now there may be multiple culprits here. We've dealt with this in the past, but if there was any one person here that all the clues point to, I suspect this Chef Scherer may be a former member or current member of this religious group and purposely was hired here with the intent to take back the God Shard and chose today to do so while there would be so many other suspects here.
Can nobody tell anybody that I thought it was the tree guy? Because I feel like that might be like prejudice, and just don't tell anybody that I said that.
Yeah, I won't include that in the formal report.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
I think your other deduction skills have more than made up for it.
Okay.
Well, how do we all feel confident enough as a group to take these charges to the Wargrave and the others, or we still have not investigated the pantry, the basement, the dining hall? Were we in the dining hall or were we in
yeah,
the
we
parlor?
were.
You
That's
were
where we
in
were
there.
having-
At that moment, your cat is telling you that he has left the kitchen.
I think we need to move fast, and then
All
I bolt out
Yeah.
towards that direction.
Can I? Lorelei's small, right?
yeah.
Lorelei, might I put you on my shoulder so that I can safely escort you while you look through the eyes of your familiar to track down this ne'er-do-well?
Yes, I will do that. So my eyes my eyes actually look like cat's eyes right now.
Oh,
Yep. Very
it's almost like we've
cool.
swapped. Yeah.
Yeah, and I put Lorelei just up on my shoulders while we start making our way in that direction, so Lorelei can tell us maybe where we should be going.
Yeah. So I'm directing them as we go.
Okay. So from your cat's eyes, you can see that he's heading your direction. And then kind of halfway, still in the halls, away from the foyer and stuff, you run into him, and you can see that he is brandishing that really large cleaver in his picture.
All right, I'm gonna yell out. Hey, why was the fruit busy on a Friday night? It had a date, and I'm casting Tasha's hideous laughter on him. Trying to get him. So he needs to make a saving throw. It's going to be a wisdom one. He has to beat a 15.
Lorelei, what if he
That
was
is a
bringing
10.
us moose?
And then he starts, he goes, and he drops his cleaver and starts rolling around the floor laughing.
And I go, quick, detain him.
Yeah, I will take out my a small little cube from a little pouch on my side. Actually, we'll say it's a ring.
Okay.
I'll like twist this ring. It's a ring, kind of a gaudy ring, but I've got these big, thick gray fingers.
Mhm.
And I untwist a cube, what looks almost like a dice. And and I toss it in his direction as I press the button, and I will use Cube of Force. Now, there's a chance it won't work because I have to roll. Oh no, I can press. I get to choose it, and it chooses it based. Okay, yes, I can make it so that living matter can't pass through the barrier. Spell effect can't pass through the barrier. Nothing can pass through the barrier. And I think I will make it so that I will toss it and make it so that living matter can't pass through the barrier. So if one of us needs to cast a spell, we can. And that will create a cube 15 feet by 15 feet around him that he cannot.
Around him. Okay.
Yeah.
So as he's able to talk, it's just a force
Yes.
that he can't get through.
It's essentially, it's like a cube
Okay.
that he cannot get out of. It says, unless he casts Disintegrate, Horn of Blasting, Pass Wall, Prismatic Spray, or Wall of Fire.
Dan's checking the spell
yeah.
list.
What was it again? I just want to make sure.
Disintegrate, a Horn of Blasting, which is a magic item, Pass Wall, Prismatic Spray.
I don't
or
think any of
Wall
those apply
Fire.
to druids, so
Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, he does not.
And I don't think a Wall of Fire would work out well for him in this specific
Probably not. Worked well for Blades in the Dark last night, though.
So he'll be trapped in
Okay.
there laughing, I guess, and I'll leave it up to if Corinne or Strand have any actions they'd like to take.
I have pacify person, but it lasts for a minute, so I'll hold off just
You wouldn't
in
be able
case.
to cast that anyway, right? Because of the cube.
No, I actually made it. I chose one level below that. I chose living matter.
Got
Can't
it.
pass
Okay.
So spell
Copy that.
effects can, which doesn't mean he could cast spells back at us, but at least he can't physically get out.
If he starts to get a little unruly, I'll slap him with that.
Lorelei, can you send your feline companion to seek out Justicar Wargreaves and bring him back to where we are?
I mean, sure, Keen can't talk, but I can try my best. So I
Yeah,
send the
hopefully
cat, the cat-
Justicar. Yeah.
The cat like runs in, does like the meow, and then
He said it's a 15-foot cube.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you roll a just straight D20 for me?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, I need to let my dogs out. I can hear. I'll be right back.
keep in mind that he is still under the Tasha City's laughter.
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
It's a 16, Dan.
Okay. The hall is more than 15 feet wide.
Okay.
Wow. Well, imagine if you could build a mansion in a pocket dimension, like you really don't need to worry too
Yeah.
much about.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
you can get as
Okay.
ostentatious as you want.
All right. So Strand's got a pacify ready, and then so what? I guess what's next, Dan?
All right. So we will. So you went to go get Wargrave.
My
Yeah,
cat,
we're hoping that it's going to be the Lassie, like Timmy fell down the well situation.
Meow.
Did you just bark at him? So
I'm hoping that Jessica Wargreaves recognizes that this was the cat that was with us earlier.
I got it.
so.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a smart gentleman. So yeah, he comes up with the cat and sees you all there, and by now he's stopped laughing, but is fully aware that he's not going anywhere. And the Justicar comes up and goes, "All right, what's going on?"
we solved the murder.
We think we've solved the murder.
My companion Corinne here has in two very important pieces of evidence, which we would like to present to you, Justicar. Both what we believe to be the murder weapon and a magical artifact which was stolen from the trophy room and found in none other than Chef Scherer's private quarters.
You put that down. You don't deserve to hold that.
Now, Chef, I take it this shard was taken unlawfully from, and I point my cane in the direction of his the vine tattoo, from your religious order, and you came here seeking revenge, did you not, with none other than this dagger?
I did not bring the dagger, but I knew of its existence. The Archmage brought me here. He promised me that I could study nature and other magics in exchange for my cooking skill. And then he went and he ravaged my home. And I've been stewing ever since. And I felt now was the perfect time when there were so many people here. But of course, you had to be some of those people. You and your little cat.
I'd have gotten away with it too.
I started with a Scooby-Doo, I ended with a Scooby-Doo. How do you like that?
Well, as you can see, Justicar, the man does not deny the crime. I think that we have.
No,
not
I
only-
justify my crime.
Well, Chef, I will say, as
It's
a
up.
judge myself, there may be a judge who may take some pity on you for the nature of this crime, and given the fact that your intention was to recover this item for your people, perhaps you will get a more lenient punishment.
So Wargrave says, yes, we will take you and we will have a discussion with the top Justicar to figure out what the right answer is. But there will be justice done. There will not be vigilante justice, despite some folks' feelings perhaps downstairs.
And I will say, if the rest of the group, I don't want to speak on behalf of everyone, but I do believe if true justice will be served, then this item, this God Shard, should be returned to the Druids up from the south, regardless of the outcome of the rest of this case.
I don't
And
disagree with that.
the Justicar nods to Iron Tusk, says, I agree, but that will also be up to the higher courts, as it is, unfortunately, at the moment, legally considered personal property.
Well,
If
it's funny
only,
you should say that,
Yes.
Oh, ooh, okay.
because according to a will that we have, it is actually
I have the will right here, and it's all left to Stranger. Oh,
Nope. I like, I haven't used them yet, so I might as well now. I use my boots of levitation, and I like rise up, and then I like put my hand on your hand, and I put it back down again.
Strand was like, we finally get to use the fake will. No, Strand, the real one, the real will, the other one.
Lesai. I pass the real will over to the Colonel.
And I'll simply say, actually, the God Shard, as well as the dagger and everything in this place, was bestowed to the people of Dusk. Wait, I have the name here. Morn. What is it? Not Dusk.
Instead.
Mornstead.
There you go.
Thank you. I didn't write it down.
Except for one thing, and then I like run upstairs and come
yes.
back downstairs with the wooden box, and I go, "This belongs to Lady Gwendolyn," and I'm like swooning a little bit because I think it's like cute and romantic, and it might not be at all, but I'm as an 11-year-old, I think it is. So,
All right. So the Justicar, magically handcuffs the dwarf, leads everyone down, and informs the crowd. We have found the criminal. You are all obviously no longer considered accessories to this. He has. We will do proper justice because he sees some people getting a little grumbly. We will do this properly, and we will do this correctly. They have provided me with evidence that should lead us the right direction. And I believe this is for you. And he hands the box and the letter to Lady Gwendolyn. And she says, oh, what's this? And she opens it up and, oh, is this letter already open?
no.
I don't know. Nobody. We haven't looked in there. So
I mean, if it was open, it wasn't by
Well,
us.
wait, I was going to say, wait, does Corinne know mending?
Yes, I
Oh.
do.
Could Corinne
Yes.
have mending?
So
Yes.
do you want to retcon that you amended it?
Yeah.
I
Okay.
feel like Corinne 100% would have.
Okay, so
Yes,
then she...
absolutely.
I blame the chef.
And I've been staring at that spell this whole time, like I wonder what I can use it on.
There you go. So she opens the letter as if it was new, and reads it, and you just see tears running down, and she looks at you guys and goes, "Thank you."
We don't know why, so
And
I guess it was important to you, and nobody else knows why.
And so the the Jescar turns to you guys and says, "You guys continue to live up to your name and your notoriety. You are the best detectives that we know, and I was honored to work with you, especially the ambassador here."
I give a bow.
But I believe he looks at his sundial. I believe pretty soon this castle will disappear, so we should probably step outside. And he breaks the ward that was on the door and ushers everybody out.
The beholders are gladly accepting donations at this time for our services.
Okay, and then you guys go out and you get in your carriage, and the driver says, "How was dinner?"
Oh, and I run back inside and grab 2 of the mooses that have had time to
Oh,
prepare,
yes!
and I
You
come back out and
run.
give 1 to Strand.
Slow motion.
Ode
Once
to
you
Joy starts playing.
yeah, let's roll acrobatics.
Okay. You know what? Actually, can I? I haven't used them yet. I'm gonna pop out my celestial wings and use those to rush through.
Okay, I'll let you have advantage with that one.
Okay.
Nice.
Good, because my acrobatics is not great. Hang on a second. Let me do this. Because I'm, hang on, let me roll. Oh, actually, it's not bad, but I'm going to hit the advantage just in case. Yeah, it was a
There you go.
16.
All right. So with a 16, you fly out. You can see that everything's starting to get wibbly, wobbly, starting to get a little translucent. You're starting to see almost like the energies of the weave happening. But you manage to just roll out the door, but you do drop one of the mooses. So now you're only holding 3 of them.
Oh.
Now, if you want to try to get it, any of you, I'll let you try to roll another acrobatics or athletics. And I just want to let you know that my nephew has given us a reroll just a second ago.
All right. Can the Colonel be very extra about this? Because
Absolutely.
I never used my 4th level spell slot, and I'm going to cast Guardian of Faith
Nice.
to summon a large spectral guardian, which will of course be a massive celestial judge with a gleaming sword and shield, except he's not going to have his sword in his hand. He's just going to reach out from his dais and attempt to catch this cupcake or this moose.
Okay.
And use my 4th level spell for that.
Okay. Let's have you roll an athletics with advantage for that, and I won't make it as difficult of a check.
The funniest thing about this, speaking of level 4 spells, is that I have Dimension Door, and I didn't use it.
Incredible. And then with a little bit of guidance, that will be a total of 14.
Let's use that reroll.
Yes. All right.
This is a challenging thing.
That's a 22.
There it is.
Oh, wow.
So you Indiana Jones that last moose before all the rest of the moose is gone forever.
Rip.
Incredible.
Does it have peanuts in it?
It is the creamiest straight chocolate mousse you've ever had.
All right, I share it with my friends.
Yay.
And you ride off into the sunset.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Excellent
Scene.
detective work, my dear.
Yay.
We did it. We actually saw.
You did. You only needed just a little push. You guys went to the right rooms. The first hint I was going to give you was going to get you to the trophy room, and then you're like, what's this whole thing? We should go to the trophy room. Like, all right, well, there it is.
Yeah, when you mentioned something called the God Shard, I was
You think the trophy room is a good place? Yeah.
yeah. I was like, it's either that or the laboratory, right? So,
I'm
I
glad
didn't
we
really
went
have
to the
give you
kitchen because
guys
I was
much with
definitely
those
ready to
clues.
accuse the tree guys. I'm glad we went
Oh,
to the
yeah.
kitchen.
Well, yeah, because like I was definitely on the Justicar thing just because the timing
Yeah.
didn't make
Mhm.
sense to me, and then once we figured that out, and you were like, "Oh, he's like druid nature guy," I'm like, "It's the tree."
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because we would have had there was without going to meet with the chef. I don't know how you would have even, and I don't know, Dan, if you made up the vine tattoo. I don't know how
That
we would
was
have
one of
figured
your
out.
bonus clues. Yes.
Okay, cool,
Okay.
cool.
Otherwise,
'Cause,
you
like-
would have just had to explore the room and find the god shard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But by doing that, I'm like, that's gonna send them towards the rooms.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
like I said, it was just a little nudge. You were
Yeah.
like 95% there.
Nice.
Nice.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks, all the viewers and donators. Why don't we go ahead? We'll do another little circle around to people and have you remind people who you are and what you do. And this time we'll start with Riley.
Hey, it's still me, Riley Silverman. You can find me on Blue Sky at Riley Silverman. You can also find me on Instagram, also at Riley Silverman. I mentioned my Doctor Who thing up top, so now I'll say that I am part of an actual play podcast called Good Chaotic. It is sort of a sequel series. We did 5 seasons of a Doctor Who RPG game called the Game of Rassilon, and now we have switched into using our own IP, using the Scum and Villainy system, and it's called Good
Nice.
Chaotic. We've been doing it for about a year now, and we're about to get to the end of our first major arc with that. We also are doing a live show soon. If you're in the LA area, we're going to be doing a live show next Thursday at Anime Expo, doing a one-shot of a Power Rangers themed RPG. And so we're very excited about that. And yeah, that's the big one there.
Nice. Remind me, who did Scum and Villainy? Because I remember.
It's Straws. Come back to me. I'll look it up.
Okay, yeah, because I remember hearing of it and I can't remember who did it.
I think
Oh, do you
some-
have it?
Wait, is it the Edge of Empires?
No,
Like-
it's called Scum and Villainy. It's a it's a sci-fi version of Blades in the Dark.
Oh,
But it's
that's
done
why I
by,
recognized
it's
it.
Straws,
Yeah.
SMF, and John LaBeouf Little.
Gotcha. That's
But
why
it's from Evil Hat
recognized it.
Productions, which I should say because they have been very supportive of our show. So I want to give them a shout out. for
Evil
that,
Hat
but-
has done like published at least 3 of the games I think we've played this Meowrathon, right? Because
Nice.
Blades, the Thirsty Sword Lesbians, and I think there was another one.
I've played both of those. Yeah, we are one of their like official like they have like a roster of like shows that like are like creators that are attached, and we're in that roster now, which is cool.
good.
So
Awesome.
we like them quite a bit.
Nice. All right, let's go to Nick.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nick, or Scry Society, on Blue Sky, Scry_Society on Instagram. I am a general TTRPG content creator, the community manager for Shard Tabletop, the virtual tabletop that we used in this adventure. Which, by the way, Shard is free to use. So if you ever want to check it out, there are, with every free to use website, there are some extra perks you get from signing up to be a subscriber. But yeah, and we partner with like folks like Kobold Press. There's like 1,000+ items in the marketplace. Highly
There's
recommend.
so many
you
things.
check
I
it
got
out.
so lost in there. I'm like, oh, I want to use this.
Yeah. We have if something's been made by Kobold Press, it's there, but there's also a ton of other third-party content. So that's my plug for Shard. And then lastly, it's only sort of relevant to this, but I've actually been a little bit more, I've moved out of the TTRPG space, and I've mostly been in the Magic the Gathering space for the last year and a half. Got to be an MTG ambassador and have been doing some streams kind of like this, but playing Magic. So if anyone out there ever wants to play some Magic with me, let me know. But yeah, thanks for having me on, Dan.
Yeah, that's interesting. Our last game was actually a homemade game by one of our folks that mixed basically RPG elements like D&D with card game elements like Yu-Gi-Oh. So
Oh, cool.
yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
he called it Card Heroes. It's Writing with Joan.
Cool.
Now let's go over to Joshy Poo.
Hey, Josh. I'm with the OD&D family, specifically the of Dice and Dens, and I just want to give Riley and Nick both a huge thanks for joining us. Riley, always fun, and Nick, just a shout out to Shard Table. That is a fun system. I'm going to use it for my online sessions that I run. So thank you.
Yeah.
I can
Absolutely.
say like their self-creation is very extensible. Nick can vouch for how much I posted in the Discord just to learn basic things that were already there. But I did all sorts of custom things, and it was pretty dang easy to do.
Yeah, and what we didn't show off, we just, Dan was just showing sort of the play space, but
Yeah.
like this character sheet is really good, and it's got
Yeah.
a really good dice system that we can all see each other's results. So
A lot of times when I'm using VTTs, and now I feel like I'm doing an infomercial. A lot of times when I do but I feel like the character sheet integration of VTTs is often one of my least favorite things about it. And this was really like intuitive, and it really just felt like I had a paper sheet in front of me that I could go through and do stuff with. So I was really impressed by that.
Honestly, yeah, Riley, that like Shard is made by the two guys who made it. They have always said that if it could be done easier physically, like than they're doing it on Shard, then they're doing a bad job of it. And so they try to be a little bit. That's the approach they try to take. Is like try to make it simple, try to make it intuitive. But yeah, I promise I wasn't trying to.
No.
A plug.
Nope.
But,
I wanted to give
I'm
you
kind
more.
of showing it right here on my side of
was
things
great.
here.
Yeah.
So you can
that's cool
see.
that you click on the dudes and it gives you their character sheets.
Yeah, there's a lot. We've made a lot of upgrades recently with like what you can do, and we didn't even get into combat, obviously, but like, yeah, I mean the combat stuff. There's a lot of stuff on the DM side to simplify things.
That's awesome.
Dan, thanks for showing off my character sheet and all the cool stuff I didn't use.
Well, and then I realized like the last like half hour that I never chose 3rd or 4th level spells.
Yeah,
So
I noticed
and
I
I
was
was looking
making
through
it.
the
I'm like,
list.
well, if that's what she
And
wants.
I was looking through the list and I'm like, find object, Bob. I'm like, these are all really good. Whatever.
Well, all right. Kimberly, I think we're still on you now.
I'm awesome, and I had a great time, and I love playing with you nerds, and yay.
Yay. And I was Dan. I guess I still am technically. I created the OD&D podcast and the Meowrathon, but
He does all the
can't
work.
do it.
This man
I couldn't do it with
is-
other people. Can't D&D alone.
I know, but like this man, he took the whole week off. I'm pointing at you in my screen. I don't know how it's doing.
No,
but-
you're definitely pointing at no one. Yeah,
Okay.
you want to go
Thank
down. Yeah.
my monitor's over here.
Yeah.
Like seriously, Dan, like you take the whole week off, and not to mention like all the like buttons and stickers and planning and networking and everything. So yay, Dan.
Thank you. And yeah, so check out odndpodcast.com. That's our stuff. I should have a new episode of Fistful of Dice any day now, probably Monday when I'm crashing. Thanks, guys. Have a good night. And stay tuned. We've got, was it Worldwide Wrestling 2E?
Yeah.
Sounds like it's going to be a stupid, crazy, chaotic wrestling RPG. So stay tuned for that.
Awesome.
I got it.